Sometimes when I wanna run away and hide, when there's no one on my side and all my pride had disappeared, I take it off my mind and leave it all behind. Nothing left to do but try to take the leap and follow through. And that's exactly what I'll do. I know to you I don't seem very strong, but I assure you before you can find me I'm gone. So come on and catch me, you still got a chance. I'll be rolling place to place, won't stop till I win the race. Although I may have crossed the line, no time to waste on you. I don't plan on slowing down, no, I'll keep on going. Even if you think I'm in the wrong, just know that although I may not think everything through, I don't take back what I say or regret what I do. I know that some stay in line and they stick to the plan, but if you leave it to me, I'll do whatever I can, cause I know that's what I'm here for. Don't wanna wait around anymore. Even if you can't see the good inside me, I don't have the time to tell you why I do the things that I do. Please hold on to, don't see that I'm not the villain I appear to be. Moving along, no, I won't settle down until I'm locked behind bars or I'm kicked to the town. So you can keep on running around and around. You'll never quite catch up to me. I know that you think I'm crazy, but I hope that maybe now you'll see why I had to try.
Now, we're talking about Fortnite. I don't think.
I love Fortnite.
Hello, everyone. Actually,
Fortnite.
Fortnite is genuinely very fun in the no build mode.
Oh,
I actually,
yeah.
yeah.
They released a hot furry skin.
Yes.
I've heard a lot.
What
The
do you
people
just
I
do?
follow who are furries have been absolutely loving the new direction Fortnite's been taking.
Yes, yes. Anyway, welcome to Heart of Elynthi, everybody, where our favorite game is Fortnite.
We're playing Fortnite today.
It's been
Yeah.
far too long. Life got in the way, as it does, and has put us on another month-long hiatus without our wanting or planning, really. Unlike the previous hiatus that was planned, this one was not. So apologies for the delay, but we are back now. Yeah, and we can return to it. But first, reintroducing every one of the players in case you forgot. Fel, why don't you introduce who you are, what you do, and who you play?
I am the man who gets shot by Indiana Jones in the Is it Raiders of the Lost Ark? The guy with the swords.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, it's the first one. It's gotta be.
I play. I'm Fel the Leb, and I make content. Although I'm in a little bit of a hiatus myself on my YouTube channel by the same name, and then I play Buck in Heart of Elynthi.
Well done.
I've nailed it. I'm back, baby.
You're
We're
back.
all back.
We're so
We're back.
back.
Baby. We're so back.
got the
We're
baby.
so
Riz.
back.
Risen up. All right.
Yeah. Next,
Someone else know.
Poi Boy PNG. Introduce yourself, who you do, what you do, who you do, as well, if you do anybody, and who you play. Sorry.
Oh.
A little private, don't you think?
I mean, if any mothers would like to volunteer.
It has recently been Mother's Day.
Hey.
Anybody missed out on being wished a happy Mother's Day?
Yeah, boys will willing to celebrate that with you any time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Hello, I am Poi Boy.
I'm sorry.
I'm basically a professional anime woman, is the best way to put it. I play Fritz, a Arakocra ranger. Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Next, Red. Introduce who you are, what you do, and who you play.
Hello, I am Red, OSP, as you can see from the screen. I am 50% of the YouTube channel Overly Sarcastic Productions. We do videos about myths and history and trope analysis and literature and stuff like that. I just put out a video about the 9 realms of Norse mythology. Spoiler alert,
Hey.
there aren't actually 9 of them. Sorry, not to tread on any toes. Yeah, I think my
Spoiler
final
alert,
count was like
I think.
14, depending on how
My
you count.
God.
It's like 14 to 2.
Yeah, it's either like 14 or 5 with
Yeah.
almost no in between. It's so funny. Anyway, I had a good time with that. If you're curious, you can check it out. I play the Swift Stride Druid Lyra in this campaign. I have the distinction of being the least furry character, except for the scaly, but like you know what I mean. The most human looking of the bunch. Sorry, I'm a
most-
normie. I have normie beauty standards.
The most human looking, but can turn into the most furry.
That's
Is it
true.
true?
Yeah, wait.
Yes,
that,
I make up
I
the
didn't think
difference.
Yeah,
about
you're a
that.
druid. Wait a minute. You can turn into a straight up animal. Anyway,
I can be whatever I want, baby.
that's good.
At least once I get high enough level.
Yeah. Next is Runesmith. Introduce what you do, who you are, and who you play.
Hello, I am old school runesmith, also known as Logan Reese. I starred in Zoe 101, and I was the skull model for the Crystal Skull in Indiana Jones.
I think you mean Run S. Smith.
Yeah, run.
Run is me.
I play Word, and I'm the little goblin in this game. I just happen to be a draconic goblin. Funny thing about kobolds, they only turned into dragons in like 2nd edition.
Oh,
Yeah, they were
yes, I
just little
know.
furry guys.
In a lot of mythologies, they are and
They're
folktale.
German fairies.
They're like
Yeah,
more
they're-
rat-like, aren't they?
They're
they're
mind
nasty little
spirits.
guys.
They live underground. Cobalt, the mineral, is called that because people
Yes,
didn't know what it
yes.
was. It was just found in compounds, and like they try to smelt the metal, and the cobalt would like precipitate out and cause poisonous vapors and stuff like that. So they were like, "Oh, this must be the work of evil kobolds." But now it's a lovely blue shade because we understand chemistry.
Yeah,
And that
another-
is also mentioned in Persona 5.
Really?
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah, it's one of the
I al-
test questions.
Oh, fun! I only backseat gamed somebody playing that, so I don't remember much about it.
Wonder if we
The
could
fun fact
do.
about Zoe 101 is that it's named after the main character, Zoe.
Wow.
is
The
why we're
101
doing
is the class they take about her. I was
Yeah.
there, I learned.
I see.
Got to learn about
I
it.
taught the class on Zoe 101.
Well, anyway, washed up Nickelodeon shows from the past aside,
It's my
I'll put
thing.
that to the side.
I have a recap for you guys because it's been so long. I wrote up a recap.
Thank you, Dad.
You're welcome, son. I'm proud of you. On the last episode of Heart of Elynthi, we found our pilgrims hunting for clues on the deeper machinations of the mysterious Underthrone Society in Nuba Sky. After a successful hunt for clues, they were caught snooping a bit too loudly by a priest by the name of Roberto of the Temple of Saphira, who informed them of the exploitative nature of the Underthrone, how they take advantage of the poor, forever indebting them and putting their victims through troublesome work at a pittance of a wage, forever keeping them under their thumb of the organization. Whatever trouble they are, though, it seems the pilgrims are at least a safety measure for anyone who wants out, as killing them for sharing any connection with the Underthrone would simply lead a paper trail. Regardless, Roberto suggests caution, as though he has no proposed solution, he has hopes that the pilgrims would find one themselves, maybe someday. After satisfying their curiosity, the pilgrims head out of Nuba Sky and are met one last time by the bull, Cecilia the Great, the dragon of Nuba Sky, leaving them a parting gift to take care of their lame horse Butterscotch. Outside of the city, the party encountered a spat between a Goliath and a Warforged over a recently purchased yet not awakened Warforged. They leave the two to figure it out for themselves, as they figure it's not really their business, and then they make camp for the night and fend off a ferocious pack of wargs, showing that the wilds of Elynthi are no match for the pilgrims of Satya. As morning breaks, they make their way finally to Viserli, where they plan to deliver a wooden figure as promised to Koryak, the dragonborn they bested in the test to become pilgrims back in Satya.
Yeah.
Goodbye, my lovelies.
Is that, did I miss out on anything?
You had all the
right
major
to
notes
me.
I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, if I could ask all the players to close out of their Twitch chats and give your
Bye, Twitch
undivided
chat.
attention to the game.
Goodbye.
All right, everybody behave. Bye.
Aw,
Don't be mean and
Bye-bye.
cheat.
don't be stinky. Put on deodorant.
And I
Shower regularly. It's very important.
Yes, please.
will put on
Brush your teeth.
some
Don't over shampoo.
music.
It's bad for your hair.
Some
Brushing your
watch
teeth matters
together
when you're
music.
older.
Yes. Brushing
And
your teeth
also
matters
when you're
always.
younger. It
yeah.
doesn't not matter
Well, I
when
mean,
you're younger.
it matters more when you're older if you didn't brush it when you were younger. So don't be
Yeah.
stupid.
It's
If
a
you're
Sisyphean
15,
task.
You don't have to brush your teeth. Just
Hey,
Yeah, no.
no, that's absolutely not true.
When you're 50, you'll understand why we told you to brush your teeth.
Technically, when you're a kid and you don't have and your baby teeth come in, do you have to brush those? I mean, they're gonna fall out anyway.
It could lead
It
to
can't-
certain
it-
gum disease that can be
Yeah.
severe.
That's none of
Bad
us
enough
are
infections can
doctors.
reach
I
your
don't
skull.
know. That's true.
Hey, eat the
Ah.
candy corn, eat the chocolate,
do
eat
eat
the
the
Three
chocolate.
Musketeers.
I had like a 2-year-long really intense soda phase, and I'm still sort of feeling the ramifications for that, even though I learned better. So if you have the opportunity
Yeah.
to not do the stupid thing, just don't
Especially
do the stupid
if you have braces, because root beer
Uh-huh.
will stain your teeth forever. I didn't know that, and now I
Oh,
will
yeah.
forever.
I take it from someone who used to drink 5 cups of coffee a day for almost 4 years.
Lord.
Thanks, school.
Oh my
You're alive.
You are not
Thank
getting
God.
your teeth color back
No.
ever.
Oh no!
Man, this is some fun D&D we're playing.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
All right,
okay.
everyone, brush your teeth.
The
Bye.
dentist edition of
We're
Elynthi.
done.
Anyway,
Teeth of Elynthi. Okay.
you guys arrive in the humble town of Versailles, south of the Verdant Hills, a place of visits rather than long stays. Hacking away at the precious gems of its rocky terrain are mineral farmers, bringing in the day's bounty of regrowing rocks and ores, courtesy of the life tree. The melodies of distant hammers are accompanied by the backing of rumbling carts returning to deposit their newfound potential wealth to the larger province to the west. While those who know how to survive outside of a major city make their pay providing to those travelers who cannot. And I am going to bring you into the town map because I have one that I made myself. Here you are. You will find yourselves in the top right
Oh my goodness!
with your
Words.
new
So
cart.
whimsical.
It's so cute and tiny.
Yes, it is a very small town, very tight-knit. The population is very small, and you can see that any larger amount of people that are here probably are not locals. And also, for the chat, fun little update, we now have a cart sheet Look at it. This is the cart as
Yay.
provided
Beautiful.
by.
Another overly sexy NPC, courtesy of Joe Cat.
Yeah, shout out
Yeah, that's
to
a
the
good
Oh,
architects.
the
Magic.
woodworking on this one.
Yes.
Look at those curves.
The cart-
Look at that lantern.
As provided by Lord Tierro, Nicholas Tierro of Trevisetta, to assist the pilgrims in their journey.
Woo. And we got our 2 horses.
Yeah, you got your
Joe,
2 horses,
is-
butterscotch and efficiency.
Butterscotch and efficiency.
Is this a hamlet?
In some ways, yes. I guess you could call it that.
Does it have a church?
Not that you can tell. Give me a perception check, actually.
Okay.
Deep
Word
underground
would know
church.
this. All right, let's perception. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Roll. Wait, did it work?
Yeah,
Yeah,
19.
whoa.
Okay, you're looking around, you can see that there is no designated like prayer area at all. Maybe people practice privately within their homes if there is any religious practice here at all, but no designated building specifically for it from what you can tell.
You know, I'm glad we stopped into Satya instead of this place. There's nothing here. I am curious about that well, though. I want to go down there.
You
Depths,
guys,
here we come.
you guys can explore exactly whatever it is you want. I think because
Did we get the name of Is it Koryak was the name of the guy who wanted us to give it to his family? Is that right?
Yeah, we should ask around about it.
Yeah, you did not get a name actually.
Okay.
I think I'll just I'm gonna bring the horses over to the tavern and maybe see if I can find us a place to stay if that's necessary. But and I'll maybe ask around if you guys want to come with me or go look around.
I'll
we'll
help
just
out with
find-
that.
Yeah.
We can meet back up or if you want. But
Did you know that that is one of the
Well,
48 wells in all
me-
of Elynthi?
What? That seems highly unlikely.
Should we go into?
It's just an estimate.
based on what? What have you estimated it based on?
I have a friend who's really passionate about wells. They've been counting for a while.
Fritz had a question if you should go in twos.
I mean, we can all go together. We don't have to split up. I don't know if there's anything anyone wants to take care of.
Split up. I have the carving on me.
Yes, Koryak did not provide us the name of his relatives, but in a town this small, I imagine it will not be difficult to locate them.
Yeah, the information you would know is he wanted to give it to his little brother and meet with his mom and dad.
Yes.
I just figured it might be easier to start with the tavern since we might have to stop there anyway, and I don't want to just knock on everyone's doors until they, that seems like a waste of energy. But
The
You
tavern
had me
seems
at
like a good
tavern.
place to start.
Yeah.
They do have a tavern. You can see that there's one right here. It has a little sign with a little bedding. It is the largest building, has multiple windows. You can guess that it's probably the tavern.
Woohoo!
Over there.
Let's go tavern.
Yeah, let's go to the tavern.
Okay.
Come along, butterscotch.
It's 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. Let's get crunk.
And you bind up the horses and park the cart by some stables by the tavern as well. You walk inside, you can see there's very few people. You can see that there is a very tall tiefling man, very lanky, dressed in some expensive yet dirty looking robes, but with well-kempt medium-length hair, a broken horn, and a jeweled neckpiece. And as he sees you walk in, he gives a cordial bow to greet you and speaks with a very soft, airy voice. Greetings, traveler. I am Isaac, mayor of Viserli. Welcome to our humble little town. What brings you so far off the main road? And here you may see the portrait of him.
ooh,
Oh,
Our boy. My lord.
Guys. Looks
I didn't
fine.
say anything.
I'm
fine.
I'm just
trying
breathing
not to
heavily,
say
that's all.
anything.
It's a pleasure to meet you, almighty mayor.
Oh, mighty. Why, thank you.
We're looking for, I think a grandma, is that right? He looks over to Buck.
No.
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 Try
We're
again.
looking for the family of Koryak, the Dragonborn. We battled him briefly in Satya, in a friendly way, of course. And he requested that we transmit something to his loved ones out in this region.
Ah, a dragonborn. Well, there is one dragonborn resident. Her name is Pyria, and she's the town's local tinkerer. She keeps things up and running and helps out any traveling mineral farmers coming to and from Pelitrios.
Is there a chance? I don't know how long we're gonna be here, but could we maybe put some rooms on layaway in case that becomes necessary? I mean, I guess we didn't discuss. I'll look around at my computers. I know we didn't discuss staying here or nothing, but
Oh,
I don't really
well,
know
of
if this is-
course. We have plenty of rooms open, as there's always need of people staying here overnight sometimes. We have very few residents who stay here much longer than a few nights, so we have recently expanded our inn, so there's definitely going to be room for you.
Question, DM. I don't know if I'm misremembering, but wasn't one of his family members a painter?
Yeah, I have notes about this actually. He wanted us to commission a painting of his mom and brother, to,
Did he tell
I think,
us
bring
who-
back to him.
who?
I think
it family
No,
member?
not anyone specifically. He just was like, hey, can you get someone to paint a portrait
Awesome.
and send it back?
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. Do you know is there any painters in this town?
Oh, we have plenty of people coming from Pelitrios, and that place is full of the arts. I'm sure you could find somebody nearby. Just asking around, they might actually be hacking away at some of the minerals. It makes for a very beautiful pigment sometimes.
Intriguing.
Thank you.
So do you run the town and also this tavern, or is you just filling in for somebody, or I mean how?
In a sense, I am designated mayor, but honestly, this place, it's more like a family. We don't often trade coin with each other, only with those who come outside and have need to trade things with us, really. Oftentimes, I try to provide what I can for the locals, and they do the same for me. We take care of each other.
Reasonable.
Yeah, good. Well, we're gonna just go.
Thank you for your assistance.
Thank
We'll
you for your assistance.
you.
We'll
Yeah.
see you. Yeah.
He gives a smile and a little bow. You okay, Buck?
Hey,
Little
No,
You
yeah, I'm
flustered
just.
there, bud?
No. Sorry. You very golden eyes. I just happened to notice.
Oh.
Lyra, do you notice the surprising amount of metal people walking around here?
Had I noticed that?
You do see a few Warforged around, specifically ones working at the kind of ore deposits and crystal deposits that you see kind of further south at the town. They do seem as though they are self-aware. They talk and chat and take breaks every now and then. Your guess is they, just as the mayor said, are probably from Pelitrios as well, which, if you remember from the previous session, has a large Warforged population.
Right, and that's also the place with all the artists that we want to talk to, so. Well, perhaps we can impose upon one of them to acquire the portrait that Koryak requested.
I'd imagine that's possible. It's just an interesting town. I feel like there's something to learn from here.
Also, slight retcon, the mayor would have given you directions to the Tinkerer's house, which would have been over here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
The one with the two dragons.
The one with
Dragons.
the one with the little anvil on it and the
Yes, good.
the wind director thingy.
They know science.
Weather vane?
Weather, yeah, sure.
The veiny weather.
Okay.
We're gonna walk past the well. Did you want to look at the well when we walk past it?
I am going to look in this well.
You're going to look in that well. How are you looking in that well? What are you looking for?
All the gold coins that everyone puts in there.
That's a long way down, friend.
I can climb.
A perception for me.
Okay.
I'm begging you,
Oh,
please
boy.
don't jump into the well.
Oh, I'm sure we can
Huh.
We
retrieve
need a
them.
Would you
baby
look
harness
at
for
that?
Word.
You squint your eyes and peer down into the well. You do see something glistening at the bottom. It
Like
seems as
water,
though
perhaps?
it seems as though not just a liquid glisten, like you. That's very distinct. perhaps something of value down there. And
Fascinating.
you can
Hey,
also
Fritz,
tell
would you
that it is a
would you hold this?
40-foot way
Oh,
down.
Okay.
I give you my coat,
What am I holding?
my fancy coat.
Oh,
Not
okay.
even a rope.
Oh, wait, do I have a rope?
Oh,
We have rope. Yeah, there was rope. in the
Okay,
cart.
I do have a rope.
Okay.
All right, Buck, hold this.
I really think this is a bad idea. We just got here and you're gonna
And
jump
here
in and
I
drink
go.
water. Oh no, here we go.
You jump down into the well as your voice echoes throughout the stone walls around you, and you can see that a few civilians at the side are giving you a strange eye as like, what the heck are they doing? They don't
standing
stop
slowly
you.
I'm gonna make an
apart.
acrobatics check to see if I can do a little fancy flip. As
Okay,
I fall.
oh my gosh.
That's-
Well, one of those was a
Okay.
crit.
One
I
of
don't know
them
why I
was a
rolled
crit.
twice.
Chat can't see it. Sorry, chat.
the first one.
The roll is blocked by the level. He rolled a 19 on the first perception, a 21 on the second one, a nat 20 on the acrobatics, which went to a
And an
26,
accidental.
and then a
You're gonna
13
really
the second
impress
time.
whatever fish are living in there.
I will
You do
say
like
with
the
that
Mission
acrobatics,
Impossible thing.
I would have actually asked for an acrobatics, but with that acrobatics, actually, I would say that you make it kind of down to the very bottom where you find the groundwater without hurting yourself, luckily. And you can see that at the bottom there are a few coins sitting, as have been tossed in probably for wishes, probably by mistake.
Okay. Yeah, I cast prestidigitation to do like a little like chime music, just that congratulates me for performing that way. And then I'll grab up all the little coins.
Okay, you're gonna grab a couple of coins. Make me a wisdom save.
Yes! Yes!
Saving throw. My goodness.
Oh, wow.
Okay, a 19.
Hey, I
oh
can't-
my
be stopped.
goodness.
How is your wisdom so
Boss,
good?
boss.
Just jumped out a well!
I know how to tell people what to do.
You reach
don't
out
know
at the
what to do.
coins, you grab them up, and as soon as your hand touches one, you hear a voice kind of echoing in your mind.
Oh lord.
Oh, now that's very interesting. And that's all you hear before you have collected about 15 gold pieces worth of coins.
That was very interestingly worth it. Buck, pull me out of here right now, please.
I'm
What?
assuming I can hear him.
I start
Yeah,
yanking it
it's-
down like twice.
All right, I get it. Here.
pull him up.
Scramble up like a blue belly lizard.
Okay.
like
Make it
down
up
there.
before the end of the rope. I didn't have to hold the rope at all.
It was a security. I take my coat back.
Oh, yeah.
Just
here
a
you go.
just a routine well inspection, everybody. Just don't mind us. We're just
Did you have fun?
well.
There's definitely no ghosts down there.
When
What
you
an
Well, that's
interesting
good to
hobby. Word.
when you reach for the coat from Fritz, you see that his hand, his little claw, for a brief moment flashes as if it were made of gold. As if
Oh.
as if the entirety of his scales had shimmered in the sun for a brief
I
moment.
got the mightiest touch. Give me my coat, please.
Sure. Sorry, I was just a bit dazzled there for a second.
I am pretty ornate.
All right, I'm going to look for the person we actually came here to find.
Yeah, we
Good
keep
luck to
walking.
whatever situation Word just got himself into.
So yeah, you can follow the directions down to the tinkerer's house, and you can see kind of hammering away at a few things. You can see that there is a dragonborn there, a white dragonborn who bears a striking resemblance to Koryak. You can see that they've got white scales with red-tipped horns and a red-tipped nose kind of spike as well, just like Koryak.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I imagine I'm doing like little hops in my face because I'm about to deliver something. Finally, it's been so long.
Yeah.
Hello, would you be Cecilia? Vasily, is it Cecilia?
I think Vicily is the name of the town. I don't think we got the name. of
You
the
didn't get the
person.
name.
No, we don't know
Oh,
names.
Yes.
my bad. Would you be related to Koryak?
And you can see the dragonborn turn to you, and she's
Feeling her character portrait. Yeah.
she speaks
Yeah.
up, and she says, "Koryak, burly dragonborn, red-tipped point tees like mine."
Yes,
Aye.
Quite similar, yes.
Oh. And why would he be interested in a dragonborn such as I?
Oh boy.
We were meant
He has a
to
delivery for you.
something? Well, was it for them?
Yes.
Just double check.
For me?
Yeah, from them.
You would happen to be related to him, correct?
Yes, yes, we just established.
I guess
yes.
in some ways, yes.
Then great. Could you sign down on this piece of paper and I have a piece of delivery for you?
Very well. And she kind of takes a quill and signs the sheet of paper that the delivery has been made.
May I inquire the nature of your relationship to him? He said he had family here, but was not particularly specific.
Yes, he would. Well, I guess he used to call me his brother at some point. Pyria, it's nice to finally be in contact. I'm just a bit taken aback is all. It's just, I've not heard from him in God's knows how long. He left home last decade to try and become a pilgrim, and after waiting and waiting for him to come, he never returned. He never
Well,
wrote, he never sent word, he never even replied to any of the mails Ma and Pa and I sent him.
Well, he has been working quite hard in an attempt to become a pilgrim. As to the rest
Maybe
of it,
he's
I'm afraid I
ashamed
can't
because
speak
we
to it.
kicked his butt.
I doubt that would have affected anything in the previous decade. Regardless,
that's fair.
he did express a desire to acquire a portrait, he specified, of his mother and brother to bring back. I assume you are intended to be the subject of that as well.
Oh, and she just kind of looks at the little figure that you gave her. Well, the thing is, everything's so different now. Everything's kind of moved on without him.
Yes.
I've transitioned. I've got a new job. Mum and Dad have decided to retire and travel, and all those friends who used to live here, I don't even know where they went. It's just everything's changed. I don't even think I know him anymore. And I don't really resent him for any of it, really. Things happen, and I want to presume what troubles he's been through. He's not really in my life anymore, you know? And now he sends me something that really tells me that he doesn't know me anymore. What do I do with that?
Oh boy.
What does the
Somebody else
carving
say it! Tag in! Tag in!
What does the carving mean, if you don't mind me inquiring?
Well, this carving was when I was a child, and he referred to me as his brother, and I guess in some ways I was at one point. But
So he isn't aware that you are now his sister. I see the difficulty.
I presume not. He also is probably not aware that Mum and Dad are not here anymore.
No, he seemed rather confident that we could find them here.
Well, I mean, and I don't mean to be presumptuous here, but at least it seems like, although perhaps he's going about it a little bit too late, he is trying to make some sort of effort to retain contact. I mean, this tells us that in some way he's thinking about you.
She just kind of
And-
scratches her head a little bit. But should I? I don't know. I've just sort of moved on without him.
I suppose it's entirely your own decision, but if you do have something that you'd like us to convey back to him, we can certainly do that.
She takes
No
a
pressure,
seat
obviously.
down on her anvil and puts down what she was tinkering with. And she just looks to you all. You're the pilgrims, aren't you?
That'd be us.
Yeah.
So he's going to spend another 10 years over in that island then?
Oh boy. Yeah, probably, but that does seem to be kind of how he's chosen to live his life. I'd presume a similar vein to yourself. I mean, did you ever? You said you tried to keep in contact with him.
Aye, but I presumed he was too busy. But 10 years? Pilgrim.
Cleaning service did you use?
Fritz, not right now.
Well, clearly they're doing a bad job.
Well, perhaps you can take it up with the Lord of Pelitrios. I'm sure he'd be happy to fix up their mailing system. They're always working on something new. But
Well,
what do you... I don't know. What would you do, Pilgrims? Family that's not family anymore. I mean, what do you call that? Someone who just doesn't return your messages or maybe miss them and it's just kind of out of your life now?
Well, if they're not asking anything from you, I'd say they're their own people now. I mean, the what family is changes over time. You know, you're able to make your own family, and I trust that he's got his own. So it is a bit confusing that now he's trying to contact you. I mean, maybe he feels alone. I wouldn't know.
It's possible that his loss to us in the qualification round caused him to reevaluate certain priorities, but I obviously can't speak to that with certainty.
I wouldn't say that a cry for help at this point, 10 years later is very appropriate.
well, look, I mean, it makes perfect sense to me that someone would want to go out and forge their own path, but at the end of the day, things, I think you can get so far removed, so into yourself that you kind of forget, the reason that you left some of the things behind, and so much time can kind of recontextualize what at least was important. And however small it may be, this might be a step he's taken after realizing that maybe being a pilgrim isn't in the cards, and I'm sure he's trying to reach back to make good with someone that he lost touch with, so...
I think my honest opinion would be that clearly you're a different person than you were back then. And I'd imagine he is too. And if he's trying to meet you on a new level as a new person, then the least you can do for him is meet him there and just see where it goes.
She smiles a little bit at that. Well, he's all but a stranger now to me, but it seems as though you seem to know a little bit about this reconnecting business.
I just have estimates. I have guesses.
I'll take your word for it, Pilgrims. After all, you did come all this way at his behest. She kind of holds the figure close to her chest and pockets it. Thank you. Perhaps I will.
Didn't you want like a painting or something?
I think a painting at this point probably wouldn't do justice to the communicate. I mean, maybe if you're not willing to go and see him because it appears you're busy, Fritz here could deliver a letter or something.
Of course.
And I am a fantastic artist.
I wanted to add, actually, I think this would be a really good opportunity to introduce yourself. I mean, hey, what big brother doesn't want a little sister to dote on? I know I would be so happy to find out I have a sister.
Yes, I believe, as I understand it, it is in the nature of relationships to change over time, and though contact can be lost, it can also be. Yes, of course, and though contact can be lost, it can also be reestablished. Neither of you are the same as you will remember each other, but I suppose, lacking the intervening 10 years of context, it could be an exciting rediscovery.
And memories suck anyway.
Yes, I suppose that is also a factor.
Mine does fail me
He's a
sometimes.
dick. You can be my little sister.
Well, I appreciate the offer. What exactly does this Koryak do now? Last I heard, he was doing in the mercenary business.
He's been helping out in the fields.
Yeah, he and I kind of worked together a couple times, for at least...
Is that a common thing in your field of work?
What?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, asking Buck.
About what? Working in the field?
Like in your literal field of work, is everyone there just like ex-mercenaries?
Were you making a pun? I don't really understand you.
I mean, I realized I made a pun and then I built off it, but the question still stands. Is everyone out there just really proficient with throwing knives and stuff?
Look, no, that's...
Did I ask the wrong...
Beware, the farmers are deadly.
Genuinely.
I recognize, and I'm sure the three of you recognize that I have a set of skills that is helpful in fighting others, but there's good, honest work to be made in every town, and that just happened to be where I have fallen, and where Koryak has fallen, where perhaps maybe what we would have aspired to didn't really work out, and so we work in the field. You know, it's good, honest work that keeps you honest, and you can make a living that way, and that's what Koryak was doing, at least to my knowledge.
We're talking him up so much.
Well,
My best friend Koryak.
odds
He was
are.
really nice.
Well,
He
if he is doing farm work, as you say, then I guess there is more that I need to learn of him as well. All right, pilgrims. He said he wanted a portrait. I do have one that illustrates my blueprints. I will have them perhaps tomorrow, if you'll still be around for that.
Yes, I believe we can arrange that.
Yeah.
Very well then.
We're not.
Thank you for helping me reconnect.
The hard work is yet to come. But best of luck.
Well, if there's anything else, I do provide services. I saw that you came in on that cart over there. I can fix it up if you like, and you can see that there are services that she can provide. Cart reinforcement, crystal enhancement, a lantern of true sight, and things, just materials she sells as well, including viscerally crystals and graviton wrenches.
And we can't
Lantern of
afford
True
any
Sight would be so cool. How much money do we all have? I have like 163 gold.
Oh my
Haven't
wait,
done that.
how?
Hold on.
I don't spend it on things.
I think I might have given all my money to someone else.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
think you gave
Oh,
some
no, I
to
have
Buck.
some.
Yeah.
I have some.
I have 143 written down on my.
How much
Okay,
is
all right,
that?
we're like halfway there.
More.
I have
We can get the
I
crystal
have 100.
enhancement.
You brought an establishment word.
Oh yeah.
She sees you
It's
guys
actually a surprise that I-
fiddling with your coin. Well, if you
Yeah.
can't afford it, then perhaps I can give you a discount for a task for a task. Favor for a favor.
Ooh, what sort of favor?
Well, our local protection, as it were, a man by the name of Grumble, that's just what we call him, we don't know his actual name, has been having trouble with keeping the patrol around the town, keeping it protected. We have our own private means of protecting ourselves with an invention he made, actually, a bunch of sentries made from the crystals we mine here. But he's been losing some, and if it eats in too much, we'll have to eat into our reserves for more protection. But I don't know the details of it. If you want, you can talk with him. Maybe do us a little bit of a favor. We could possibly give you a discount on the lodging as well.
How
Well, we're gonna be
interesting.
here anyway, so I mean, where can we find this Grumble?
She just kind of looks over the corner of her house and points over to a Fearbolg man, kind of short, burly, with a massive beard that's very unkempt, and he seems to be exchanging very few words to a lizard folk who is talking his ear off, and he's just kind of grumping.
So we're supposed to talk to this man.
Yeah, he gets his point across, trust me.
Very well.
And thank you again.
Of course.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes. All right. Shall we skedaddle?
Okay. And let me just keep the music playing. And you walk on over to the Fearbolg man, named Grumble. Wait, what's up?
I forgot there was music. I'm good. I'm tagging it now.
That's okay.
I'll get the full ambiance.
So you walk on over to a Fearbolg man. He's very burly, unkempt facial hair, as described, scars and bruises all across his arms, and a massive shovel in his hand, and two kind of just rocks of crystals at his flanks. And next to him is a very ornate-looking lizard folk woman who is just talking his ear off. And you just hear a lot of unkind words his way, we'll say, before she storms off and seems to go pester somebody else. And you see the man known as Grumble.
I think you left her portrait.
No visible facial features. Just how I like them.
It's the dad from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
He's also the dad from, oh god, what was that? It's got the fish boys in it. You know the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Silenzio Bruno.
Yeah, Luca.
Luca.
Yeah, Luca, thank you.
Yes, that's the one.
Specific
But
genre
yes,
of dad.
he sees you approach and just gives a simple gruff.
A pleasure to meet you, sir. We're going to need to use real words at some point, everybody.
Oh, sorry. Think we had a question for you, my friend.
Wes.
Yes, we were directed your way. We were informed that perhaps you were in need of some assistance with some crystal automatons that were going missing.
Sentries patrol the area.
Whereabouts?
Around the place. Most of the time, Pyria fixes them up again if they get smashed. But some of them smash too good, too regularly. Don't know why. Running out of disposable crystals. Too busy fixing things myself to divide my time. Got
So
some,
they're being damaged by something.
not just damaged, destroyed.
I see.
Not uncommon. Works out there. Lot sometimes. But these, two destroyed.
Do you know where they are most commonly being so thoroughly devastated?
He marks down a kind of route that he sends them on patrol around your map, and he just like whistles, and you can see the crystal rocks, they're kind of like boulders at his side, just start to roll down the route. Not hover, roll, leaving behind a little trail and bumps and kind of occasionally bumping into each other.
Lose track. Follow him.
All right.
Thank you. I suppose we shall do that.
Get this done. I'll give you something special. Actually, get it fixed. Give you something extra special.
I do
can't
like
wait.
special things.
Much
All right, shall
obliged.
we follow those rocks?
Yeah.
Okay, and this will
I like
be
this town.
a skill challenge, the investigation of the crystal sentries.
Oh boy!
And if everyone could select their token and give me an initiative real quick.
Oh boy. Okay, we're getting the hang of this. Remembering the buttons.
Yeah.
Did mine roll? No.
Where is my initiative hide?
There we go. Oh,
Right.
Hell
so
yeah.
That's where it's hiding.
Wonderful. What a great initiative. Okay.
It's good, widespread. We're covering our bases.
Okay, and I actually have skill challenge music. So I will play that.
Hey,
Something that I'll be using for skill challenge music from here on out.
we've done enough.
Not quite so iconic, sadly.
Work.
If it will.
Also, Joe, on my screen, the lizard woman's like art portrait was left behind. When
Oh, whoops.
she
Well, I
left.
guess you see how she looks now.
I didn't even realize that. Oh yeah.
It's because I tried to hide it underneath the other token, and then reveal it when necessary. Look, I'll show you the Fearbulg. There's Grumble.
Yay.
Yeah.
But yes, you begin your investigation of the mysterious crushings of the crystal sentries that protect Viscerally. You know the path, so you can use that information to your advantage. You know that it keeps getting destroyed in generally a similar area every single time, kind of halfway through the patrol route at the furthest part of the town. But that's all you got. Buck! How do you wish to... Also, with 5 successes, you will find enough clues, not to know exactly what happened, but enough clues that you could possibly maybe piece them together and find out maybe the path of what has happened. But with 3 failures, you will perhaps be left with less information. You won't... It is going to be... So success, I'm going to give you information. Failure, I'm not going to give you information, basically.
Got it. Can I want to use investigation, even though I'm not very good at it. But I would like to maybe use one of the uses, or maybe even all of the uses of my magic awareness feat for being a wild path barbarian.
Ah, magic awareness. May I see it?
Yeah. Let me see if I can.
So that I may be reminded of the details.
That's magical.
You know the
awareness.
location of any spells or magic items within 60 feet of you that isn't behind total cover. When you sense a spell, you learn the school of magic it belongs to. You can use this feature. Okay, you know that there's actually quite a few magic items around here, including the shovel that Grumble has. Seems to be magical. There is a wand on the lizard folk lady. This is what you would glean from walking around the town, as I presume you're doing.
Well, yeah. So I think how it works is it kind of just sends out like a pulse, like a radar. Like I don't get. It's not like constantly active. So what I was going to do is go to a place where like maybe if there's something weird, I can while I'm investigating, I can maybe use some pulses of that. I have 3 per long rest. To try and maybe glean a little bit information.
I'm sorry. Is the first part of this challenge just following those rocks, or is that part chill?
That part's chill. That's just information. He's like he's showing where the rocks go, so you know the route.
I see.
Oh, I thought we were going in. You're saying that we can investigate around the town?
Yeah, any way you so wish to find clues. Just the information that you have is that the route of which the rocks take on their patrol and where they have been vanishing.
Yes, I wanted to know where they've been getting wrecked.
They seem to be getting wrecked about 3/4 of the way down. Halfway down the route where they would be the furthest from Viscerally and near the main road to Politrios.
Gotcha. So basically, that part of the route isn't visible on the map we're currently seeing.
No.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just abstract theater of the mind.
I would like to go to that location and then use my pulse and also just kind of generally.
Okay. So no skill check for this one because I feel like this magical awareness thing would just tell you this information. And you find you do find a magic item, specifically a magic component. You see, kind of in the area, you see almost like it's buried in the dirt. Somebody wanted to hide this thing. It's a magical component. It looks to be a small rock of amber color, and encased inside is of the kind of crystalline rock is a single long eyelash. And I will count that as a success because you just found the information.
We found a spell component for something.
Mm-hmm.
Eyelash in amber.
That's way too specific. That feels like it's useful.
Yeah.
Oh, drat. I don't know if I have enough spells.
No.
You don't have to use spells. You can use...
No, it's more like there are spell components, but I don't know if I would be like if I could make some kind of check, but my Arcana is really low, so I don't know if I would be able to be like, hey, wait a minute.
Right.
Yeah, like if I would know the spell that this highly specific component would be used for. I'm just like looking through my spell list
I see.
What the components are.
Okay, well then, Fritz, it's your turn.
Yes.
I would like to go down to, just to make sure it's kind of like down here-ish off to the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to go down here and could I use my investigation to ask if people have seen like it happen and to describe it if so? Would that be investigation?
I wonder. I don't know if that would be investigation. I think that would be more like just a general charisma check.
All right.
Just talking with people.
So roll charisma?
Mm-hmm. Because I don't think that would be a persuasion. They'd happily give out the information.
Ooh! Well, now they're more than happy. So I'm just kind of asking them if they've seen it, and if so, to explain like what they saw and how it happened.
They do know that somehow, like people talking around, you get eyewitnesses that have been saying that every time they go around, the patrol sentries, the sentry crystals go around that area that they suspiciously get essentially vaporized, there is a loud banging noise, like massively loud, not as if it was done with any physical object. It must have been done with something magical. That is what everyone believes. Everyone also is gossiping and saying that they really, really don't like the lizard folk lady that's just around and has been... That's just general gossip.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, juicy.
We don't like her. We don't like the Karen lizard.
Okay.
Are there like how much? This is like a really little small town, like a just place where the roads are
Very
thicker.
small.
How many just animals are around have been acclimated to the presence of the town and the people?
Ooh. You could probably find the odd like woodpecker here and there. There are quite a few birds. Not
Awesome.
a lot of like ground scampering because people walk around a lot and have been hitting the
Right.
ground a lot. Maybe a few burrowers every now and then, as there are caves and stuff. But
Cool. I think I'd like to range out a little bit, basically where, like, however far I need to get from the route that the automatons take to get near something that is an animal that might have seen it, and I would like to cast Speak with
we
Animals.
can do
and
that on your turn.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I forgot my initiative is so shit.
That's okay. But Fritz, we're going to count that as a success. You learn that whatever has been breaking them has been something magical and powerfully magical that has been breaking them, not a natural occurrence of some kind. Perhaps some foul play. Word.
I'll go ahead and make an Arcana check to try and figure out what that is a spell component for.
All right, let's see. Recall that
Shoot,
information.
I cannot.
I don't know.
Honestly, that could be anything. It's certainly a spell component that you've
Little
seen in some
smooth rock.
pouches.
I don't know. I think
Can
it's
I
kinda
reiterate
like
the gossip, by the way? Did I
How does it
reiterate
taste?
that to them?
Oh yeah, you can. You can share that information with the party
word,
as well.
come here, my
Yes.
gossip buddy. My gossip buddy. I got some juicy for you.
what's going on.
Did you see the dragon lady who was shouting earlier?
Uh-huh.
People don't really like her for some reason.
Is that the one that we just talked to or the one from earlier?
This is the lizard lady.
Lizard
we
folk.
didn't, yeah, we didn't really
Oh,
talk to
okay.
her.
The dragon lady's good. The lizard lady is the one that nobody likes.
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
All good. But yeah, that's going to be 1 failure and 2 successes. 3 more successes, you'll get all the information. 2 more failures, and you will be left with the information you have.
It's orange and there's an eyelash. I think it might be fireball because like you can see a fireball and you look at the world through your eyelashes.
It doesn't sound right, but I don't know enough about Fireball to dispute it.
Okay,
It's kinda
Lyra.
orange.
So you
Yes.
wish to find some animals, yes?
Yeah, I would love to do that, and then I would like to cast Speak with Animals and have a little chat. If that's okay.
Okay.
What about the lizard lady?
Speak with animals. I'm gonna
just-
make that. What are you asking specifically?
Well, let's see. Speak with Animals. How long is it? Oh, it lasts 10 minutes. I can ask a bunch of things.
Ooh.
Admittedly, it does depend on how smart the animals are. Mostly just like anything weird been happening out here. Any like notice anything? I've heard there's been a lot of scary noises. You see anything about that?
Yeah,
That's
so the
okay.
animals do confirm the scary noises keep happening. Just about like every like week or so they seem to happen.
Every week or so.
Every week or so. Not consistently a week, but on average once a week. And they seem to coincide with very specific footfalls as well, that the animals say it's always the same footsteps every single time.
Footsteps. Do
Someone-
they sound like they...
Oh, go on.
Well, I was going to ask if they sounded like they belonged to a biped or a quadruped or something else.
Definitely biped. Big like you, they say.
All right. Probably a person. Doesn't narrow it down very much, but good to know.
Okay.
Roughly once a week, a biped wanders around out here, makes a lot of noise, and does something very, very loud to those automatons.
Yeah. But they say whenever anyone, like some of the birds, fly up to see where the noise came from, there's nobody there. I'm going to say that's going to be success number 3.
Oh, goody. I was going to ask if any of them had an exceptionally good sense of smell, but I can do that myself. It's
Buck,
fine.
back to you.
Can I get an idea of like what's going on with like these crystals? Like I'm confused about like the crystals and the Warforged, like the relationship to one another. I think that might have something to do with it, because they keep putting crystals in. Can I just like do some general research gathering about like the crystals?
Yeah, if you want to roll me like a intelligence, just a straight intelligence.
Ooh, yeah, sure.
Because that's what I presume is research
God. No,
gathering.
That's a save, not a check.
It doesn't matter.
What's your
It's the same-
bonus?
it would-
Oh,
it would-
is the bonus the
It's
same?
-1. It's
Okay.
-1.
Well, you know that these crystals probably can be used for some kind of magic. You can see that the crystal sentries that are rolling around that Grumble has sent out are made of the same material as the crystals from these veins and ores.
Word has like the amber thing like in his mouth, and I'm like licking on a crystal. We're trying to like discern what's going on with these.
Something magical happened here.
The Pilgrims of Satya.
crystals don't taste very good.
Sort of like a tiny.
So that is going to be 2 failures.
Organics.
Dang. Okay.
Fritz, your turn.
So it's something magical. No one is around when it happens, and people really don't like that lizard for some reason.
Yeah, she does
Did
seem
they
like
give me a
suspect
reason,
number one
or
of
just
one.
say they don't like them?
I would say you can make me another charisma check. Actually, no charisma check needed.
People don't like
People don't like her. No charisma check needed. This is just general information. They say that she visits regularly, trying to sell something, but specifically to Grumble. But Grumble doesn't want to buy it.
Do I smell a protection racket?
I'm gonna ask Grumble more detail on what specifically she's trying to sell, if that's okay.
Yeah. When you ask him, he just gruffs.
Soldiers,
Soldiers.
mercs, paid out.
Protection racket.
Trevisetta, businesswoman. Don't like her.
Avicetta!
Not Trevisetta again.
You're telling me the
favorite
bad
place.
guy empire continues to be bad?
Was that my turn?
It was
or-
not. It was not your turn. That's information that can freely be given just by asking.
Where is she?
She is over here.
Oh.
I would like to mosey on over and be like, words in the book, you provide protection.
I would say this is going to be your skill challenge for your turn, and that's a
Yeah.
persuasion because she is not disinclined to talk to you.
Did you say words on the buck? Is that what you said?
Words on the block.
I'm joking.
Not currently.
Oh,
Do on their
Little
spare time is
clumsy
nobody's
bird.
business.
She simply turns up her nose, looks the other way. I do not fraternize with commoners.
hit her, Fritz.
No!
And that is
Enough.
going to be the end of the skill challenge because that is 3 failures. And that is the information you get from the information that you would
Something wrong with
glean
you, the
from skill
commoner.
challenging stuff.
Good work, everybody. So does this mean that I'm actually just out and about by myself and everyone else is hanging out in the town square?
More or
Nothing wrong
less.
with being a
Perfect.
commoner.
I have no idea we failed the skill challenge. I'm still talking to the birds.
Ward and I
still
are
tasting
examining
this
our
rock.
rocks. Yeah, we're licking these rocks. We're trying to figure out what's going on.
But yes, this is the information that you are given.
So the biped, big or very big?
It's very hard to glean from a squirrel where everything is big.
Ward,
Guess I'll
maybe we
come
should
back.
go and find. Oh, Fritz, there you are.
Smell.
She's
Gross or
rude.
real gross?
Have you guys seen Lyra? Where? I don't know where she is.
I don't know. I was just really interested in this rock. I couldn't get anything.
Yeah. Let's go find Lyra. I think that would
Just
probably
full
alright.
Disney princess.
Yeah.
She starts shouting, Lyra!
be Lyra.
Oh no.
Lyra!
Well, all the birds are flying away now.
Where are you? We're
Look,
coming.
a bunch of birds. She must be over there.
I'll race you to Lyra.
Hoofing it. I'm tiny. That's not fair. Well, actually, I'm pretty fast.
Wait, I can pick you up. Wait, come on, let's go.
Yes.
I have the mobile feet. I rush.
Oh, shit.
Oh, jeez. It's a race
you have a
between the bigs and the smalls.
Con.
How exciting!
You know what? Am I about to be petty in this? I'm thinking about it.
Don't do it.
We blew the skill challenge. May as well. What else is gonna happen this session? Probably nothing.
Where is my...
Don't drop me.
You're okay? Hold on, where is it? I'm losing my spells. Where is it?
What do you mean your spells? What are you gonna do? That's not fair. You're not allowed to use any spells.
Real quick,
Is
would I
that
have been
us
able to ask when the last time some of these things were destroyed was? Like,
You know what? Yeah, I would say you can. The information you gather from asking that, both from the animals and from Grumble, is that the last time one of these was destroyed was 2 days ago.
okay,
Very recently.
very recently. Smells could still be lingering. Maybe. I just want an excuse to turn into a panther again, but we can wait. It's fine.
Oh, I do. I do have this. What if I just... long stride.
You're gonna burn a spell slot to beat Buck in a race.
Word, how badly do you want to beat this?
I've never wanted anything more.
I'm ahead of you.
If there's a bit, Word will commit.
I'm long striding.
We're already
I'm
halfway there.
committing to the bit.
So you guys like rush past me, like
So let's actually do the
flinging
math here.
spells
So Word,
backwards.
this bumps up your base speed to 40, yeah?
Yeah.
And you can dash and bonus action dash.
Yes, I can.
That's
So
120 feet
That's
per round.
120 feet per 6 seconds. Buck, is there anything
I
you
can-
could do?
I thought I
can
was
go
carrying
50.
them.
I can go
50.
50
I'm
feet is
skittering
because I have
off.
noble and because I'm a
Okay.
barbarian, so I have
As
50
you
feet
carry me.
normal.
And you can dash,
Oh
which
yeah,
bumps
I
it
like
up to
take
100.
you and then I like
But you can't bonus
fling you to go.
dash.
No, you can
You-
you can action
can I-
dash, which bumps it to 100.
Let me just see if anything in my wild shape rage or my wild
Joe,
magic
you gotta,
rage
you gotta
does
take in
anything.
mind my abilities too.
I think some
I'm
of
running
them-
them and then throwing them.
At least one of my thing lets me teleport. I guess I could rage and attempt to do that. Where is
bit.
The bit.
The rage will only last for 6 seconds, though,
here's-
because you're not going to attack anything.
well, I could attack something.
We're never getting invited back to this town.
Shoot me down.
I also have one that would slow you down if it was. I'm not going to rage. I will. I will just
Yeah, maybe.
be outrun. I will be outrun by Word. Do we find Lara? Are we able to get to
Yes, I would
I'm
say you
having a
find.
very serious conversation with a cardinal. It's just like, oh, yes, interesting.
And then it immediately flaps away as the rumbling of the earth comes by, and you can see the
happening
your three
again.
companions.
Oh, I see. Those are
Word,
great.
word like comes through a bush and stops, and then Buck like stumbles in after and falls over on top of him.
I take it your investigation was productive?
I win all the money.
I won. Lara, I was quicker. Out of breath.
Interesting.
You guys are unfit.
Maybe a little bit. But I am mentally sound.
What? I carried you half the way.
Exactly.
So I've been discussing things with the locals. It seems as though roughly once a week, the automatons in this area are destroyed by an invisible biped creating a loud noise. I haven't been able to glean further details. Cardinals are not known for their observational skills, but they are very dedicated to the cause of justice, which is always nice to see.
Word and I found a rock.
Yeah, there was like this one rock that was really cool, and then I found this other rock that was pretty interesting. And, yeah.
I see.
There was a rude lady.
So we
Excellent
basically
work,
got everything
everybody.
figured
She
out.
hurt my feelings.
It was a rude lady.
Can I? It's a long shot. My Arcana's really bad. Is there a chance I've seen this spell component before? It's so specific.
Let me see. I'm gonna look at the druid spell list actually,
Yes,
you,
yes.
if it's a spell druids could learn, you might know.
Give a quick glance to the barbarian spell list and see if mine.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's, the only spell I know is hit things. It's a cantrip, and I can do it as many times as I want.
Well, not as many times as I want. I want to be doing it a lot more, but I can
It's true,
only
yeah.
do it a couple times.
It is the barbarian's nature to try to be angrier than he is.
Let's see
I'm
here.
excited. Ooh, cool.
No, it is not a spell
No!
druids can learn.
And there's
Well, that's
absolutely no chance
information.
I'd have looked at anyone else's spell components at any point.
You know
because
what?
Then I would have had to deal with wizards.
If you want, you can give me one last Arcana check.
I'll give it a shot. I can't fail the skill challenge more than we already have. All right, let's see where we're at. How about a 4?
You don't know shit.
It's covered in cobalt spit. All right, you can have this back.
Well, Lyra,
Yes.
you know what's a little fishy? Lizard lady, very rude. No. They provide protection and keeps trying to sell protection to a buddy over there.
Sounds like she would have a vested interest in reducing the already extant protection of this town.
Be warned though, she doesn't talk to, and there's quotation marks, commoners.
Interesting.
The commoners do all the work for her.
Yes, wow.
I mean,
Gumbo.
Fritz, did you tell her that we're pilgrims?
What? I don't have to explain myself to
I'm not
someone
saying-
rude like her.
I'm not
No,
saying you
entirely,
have
yeah.
to. I just that seems to be helpful to our cause most of the time. So
I don't want to
I'm
speak
not-
to her. Sorry, I'm pouting. No,
No, it's
It's
okay. I
like,
mean, we don't have to
they're
talk.
rude.
The most recent
You can
attack was
talk to
only
them.
2 days ago. It seems unlikely that they would strike again so soon, which is unfortunate for us, because it means we might need to stake the place out longer than we wanted to in order to find anything out. But,
Do you think that's the best course of action to stake out the place?
well, I wouldn't say that. I think the best course of action would be to get back on the road. However, I'm not in the habit of leaving people in distress if I can help it.
We could ask her and use the fact that we're pilgrims and need protection. She might listen. It would be nice to kind of shove it in her face.
I'm not certain that's the wisest course of action, but I suppose in absence of other leads we could attempt.
Thoughts?
This
I
is
would-
an interesting dilemma. I don't know what course of action we should take, but I think, everywhere we visit, we should find a way to make a name for ourselves.
Ah, I see.
Because it seems like whatever this fucking Trevor Seta place is really trying to kind of undermine just the whole reputation of everything that we're doing. So if we can, have a little reputation, not even just for ourselves, but for our the vocation everywhere, that I think that's a good idea.
Understandable.
Sorry,
And
I
of
actually
course,
don't know what to do.
No, that's good insight. Of course, the additional modifications to the cart would be very helpful in the future, considering the things we are liable to encounter out in the wastes.
Well, we're not gonna solve. I mean, I don't think we're gonna be able to do much more today. We could always try to. We're gonna have to head back eventually.
You know,
anyway. I say we could go back and.
I
try
think it would be cool if we could get like those fancy shiny lights on the front of the cart before we figured this out, so that way it like shines, wards him off or something. Because it happens every night, no matter what.
Excuse me?
Does it
That
happen every night?
one of the upgrades. No, was it every night or every week?
Oh, you're
Well,
talking about the upgrade
It's not a.
to our.
Yeah. The thing that the fancy light that shines.
But would that deter magic?
I don't know. Doesn't that happen at night? Am I wrong?
It does typically happen at night. I suspect the better solution would be to stake the place out. But,
We can do that too.
We
yes.
could.
The card upgrades are promising. I especially find that Lantern of True Sight would be extremely valuable. True Sight is a very difficult ability to acquire otherwise. And we would not want to be caught unawares in the wastes, but
What does True Sight do?
you can see invisible things.
Oh.
Yes.
Did Grumble or anyone say were they taking the crystals out of these things?
No, they are made of crystals. Just imagine a boulder,
Oh.
but it
Yeah.
being slightly transparent and, blue crystal-like and rolling around. Those are the sentries.
So it gets smashed to
Oh.
pieces and it can't be repaired because it's in bits.
Yeah, it's in little tiny, dusty bits, which is beyond repair.
Oh, okay. Someone doesn't like. And are those crystals the sentries are made out of the same ones that are being mined in the area?
Yes, and Grumble has mentioned that they could make more, but they're going to have to eat into their reserves.
Okay.
So
Do you think? I mean, I noticed that Pyrio was selling some of those crystals. Do we want to try and see if those crystals react to the we could buy some shards and see if they react to anything out there. I didn't think of that until just now, but
Oh, some form of magical experimentation? I'm not entirely sure we're equipped for that, but...
No, I just mean like maybe if these sentries are rolling around, that there's something that doesn't lack the crystal shards, and we could kind of use the crystal shards to draw out whatever it is.
Possibly, but
Yeah,
considering
we could
it's...
set up like a trap or something.
Well, certainly we're going to set up a trap at some point, but because it's only happening once a week, roughly, that makes me think that whatever's reacting isn't just posted up out there waiting for something to happen. I think it's somebody going out invisibly and making an effort to destroy these things loudly and with this spell component that I cannot identify.
I think it's a fireball.
It certainly
Let's-
could be.
Let's go back and see, because I think we still haven't explored the lizard lady that Fritz was talking about, and maybe she'd be more responsive if it was all of us.
Then
Or perhaps simply the only one of us who's good at talking to people in this context, Buck.
And perhaps you can do that after a little break. We're gonna take a little break.
Yay! Get to top up the cold brew.
Yes, and
I need to
I.
go pee.
Yeah.
And I get to see how Twitch chat's doing.
I'm also gonna take a bio break.
I miss Twitch chat.
I miss Twitch chat too.
I love you, Twitch chat.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go and get that.
Yeah, I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
When are we back by?
Let's say 30 past the hour. 35 past the hour.
Perfect. Well, two people
yeah.
just redeemed hydrate and big stretchies, so I guess we
Yeah.
have to take a break.
Yep. All right.
Alrighty.
Hydrate and big stretches. Back at 35 past the hour.
Yeah.
All night long, night. I'm almost back. Is there anyone here? Just me and chat. All right, everybody. Let's work out a way to we're gonna turn the tables on the rest of these idiots. It's just us. We can reveal our evil selves. We've been evil this entire time and they know nothing. It's all been a part of our secret plan. Yes, that's right. Laugh evilly in the chat. They have no idea when they come back we'll act perfectly normal. But we'll know the secrets. The secrets that we've been plotting against them. We're going to use our collective power to make all of Logan's, we're gonna make all of Logan's roles really, really evil and bad for the rest of the session. Thank you. Fos Ouroboros, what we're plotting is we're going to use the power of friendship, but we're gonna use it for evil. So we're gonna use our friendship to make all of the roles bad. So just reach into your friendship abilities, make sure your skill tree is spec'd for evil, and make sure all of your hotkeys are macroed properly for the raid we're going to do on Logan's roles. There's a lot going on here. I hope you guys are all enjoying the stream. this is very intimidating to be the only person who is here, especially compared to the rest of everyone else who I think has streaming experience for their own, especially definitely Joe and Poi. I really miss doing this because it's been a little while. We all got really, really busy doing stuff, as happens when you, which is also extremely true of like most Dungeons and Dragons games. If you've ever
I am back.
done one, I'm yes. Excuse me, my my voice was just doing some vocal exercises at normal chat.
Hello.
How you feeling, Poi? Good? Just good? Normal? Normal? That you're not feeling?
On my way out, I forgot I had a package on the floor and I slipped on it. So sorry if you heard that.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't hear that at all.
I got worried you guys heard me scream and I was like, ah.
Yeah. Oh, me? I'm just feeling normal. Not feeling evil or anything.
Oh, okay.
Nothing was going on or anything even, too. Like, we were just all being normal. You being normal? You doing good? Being
I'm
like a
doing
normal?
good. I had a good pee.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I watched TikToks. It was great.
I love watching TikToks.
Well,
And
you
nothing
can-
else. Yep. Oh, chat? Like, how was chat doing? Chat was doing good. They weren't plotting anything.
Maybe they were scheming.
Yeah, I don't think so. I feel like I would have noticed because I was here most of the time. We were all just being normal and we weren't plotting anything or anything.
No,
at all.
scheming looks different. That's definitely plotting.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, yeah. No, just us, sort of normal, being normal. You know.
Actually no. I was gonna share one TikTok, but I don't know if that's appropriate.
Oh, well, I want to see it.
Someone tweeted that they shared, or tweeted. Oh my god. Someone said that they shared Elynthi art. I'm gonna look it up.
I wanna see
Under
it.
Joke, but it looks like they did it
Where?
under Joe Fart, maybe.
Oh,
Where
don't
is
put
that?
it on Joe Fart. Put it in hashtag Elynthi. Probably on Twitter.
Ooh, it's
I'm
weird.
trying to
Where
find
was it? I thought I saw something.
Oh, it's it's the One Piece crying guy. Hold on,
Oh, I love that.
but it's word. Let me put it in fan art.
Yeah.
I must see.
I want to see it.
Oh. Yeah. A little screaming chopper.
It's great.
It's great. That's amazing. I love that.
Also,
Thank you for everyone who
Horrifying,
does
but I love it.
fan art.
yeah,
It's
thank
so
you.
great.
A big missed opportunity because I'm not clever and I'm an idiot. A missed opportunity to call it Art of Elynthi.
Yeah.
Biggest blunder since calling it Mr. Beast Burger and not Mr. Feast.
Mr. Feast.
Dang.
Wait, what is the alt tag for?
It's just hashtag Elynthi.
Oh my god, Forge also said, I love Heart of Elynthi, or Ho for short.
Ho, yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, freaking Necrohunt's
We read that.
abbreviation is BNH and Elynthi is Ho.
Hello.
I think that fits us very well.
Yeah, we're all sort of Ho.
I
perfectly
still
fill
love
out the
that little like
quadrangle.
Tumblr post thing. It was so good.
Which one?
Did you saw
Oh,
like they gave
Fells thing?
everyone like a Tumblr
Oh, I
post.
just like associated.
Oh,
a
that
Tumblr
one,
post
yes,
with
yeah.
with everyone.
That is one of my favorite meme formats, where they just like attach Tumblr posts to characters. I saw someone actually did that with a poll I did recently that kind of went way viral. With just like the best kinds of betrayal arcs, and somebody just went through and attached every option to a different Star Wars character. And I was like, this is a new level of breaking containment.
I love the one where it's like, oh, I love insert intellectual property here. Like and retweet if you're a true term that seems inappropriate.
Oh yes.
And I think Heart of
Oh,
Elynthi
I
has
love
that.
pegging. How many people have we got in the pegging community?
Yeah, Peggle, yeah.
I
Yeah.
love Peggle.
Yeah.
How many
Peggle.
peggers have we got?
Peggle is my favorite game. Shout out if you're a true pegger.
Yeah.
I like that with Heart of Elynthi. It's like, oh, I love Heart of Elynthi. Like and retweet if you're a true hoe.
Yeah, I'm a true hoe, to be honest.
I mean, what is a week without a little bit of peglin?
Right. Peglin. I'm looking forward to when that's out of early access.
Yeah,
Is it still in early access?
I think so.
yeah.
What are we talking about?
Still feels
Peglin.
very
It is a
incomplete. There's a game
roguelike
called
Peggle
Peglin.
game.
Oh my god.
Wait, hold on.
Making it now.
Say that again? It's a roguelike Peggle
Rogue-
game?
Yes,
Yeah,
where
roguelike.
you play a little goblin, hence the name Peglin, and you kind of build sort of. It's kind of a deck builder as well.
It's a mix
What?
of Slay the
What is it?
Spire and Peggle.
Yeah.
Is this out?
Boy,
Is this
people
gonna
just
be
make
released?
Yeah,
stuff, huh?
it's just
Yeah.
really small though. It has
yeah.
not been explored very heavily.
It is currently in early access, so currently still in development, but
Finally,
it's looking
Peggle
very
2.
very promising. Yeah.
I destroyed Peggle too.
Peggle
No, not Ones owns this
2.
game.
That's I love how like nobody knows
game.
that that's what that GIF is from because everyone just loves doing
The
like
jump
two,
guy, yeah.
the jump split guy.
Yeah, I love that
Oh,
guy.
God.
I remember
feel
that
bad for
E3. Was it E3 that happened?
I feel like
I made
was.
it. I made it,
It
Joe.
was E3.
I did it.
I don't remember what year it was.
You did it?
Peggle 2.
Oh
Yeah, and nobody cheered.
I read like a dissection of why that happened the way that it did.
Why?
Which was basically just like Peggle was like outselling everything else by a country mile, but it was doing it because it was like Peggle's like it's like a flash game you can play on your browser
Yeah.
basically. It's like
There are no
it's that
avid
kind-
gamers that are passionate about it, but everyone plays it
Exactly.
passively.
Nobody at E3 was going to be fucking passionate about Peggle, but just looking at the numbers, they were like, "Oh my God, Peggle's outperforming everything!
big
Finally, we know what the
blockbuster.
gamers want." Because the thing is, it's like it's the kind
Peggle.
of
Gamers
I
love
feel
it's like
Peggle.
phone
Peggle
games,
rules.
like
Yeah.
they're kind of things that are played by like housewives and kids and like people just on their phones.
Not
and,
people
like,
who are going to attend E E3.
exactly, not people who are going to self-identify as gamers.
Listen
So-
up. If you're a housewife gamer, DM me privately. We can talk.
You know what? Honestly, I love winding down my evenings with a glass of Pinot Grigio, some Cocoa Melon, and some Peggle too. Nothing better.
this loser's drinking white wine with Peggle. Everyone knows Peggle's a red
It's
wine.
paired with red.
I need my Pinot Noir out. I need a little Cabernet.
Your peanut noir.
Weird side note, but I'm so
My
happy
Peggle
that
Noir.
demos are making like a massive comeback.
Yeah, they're a good way to try out a game
so
and see if it's for you.
happy.
Hey, chat, play Tears of the Kingdom.
I don't want
the
to
only
like.
game I'm gonna be talking
These
about
games are
today.
expensive.
Yeah, that's actually the
I don't
reference I
wanna
made
splash
with the
that much
whales.
cash without trying.
Yep.
It's time to play. Which of the members of this cast likes Tears of the Kingdom the most?
That's why I appreciate
Cast-
the most
cast
generous.
your votes.
That's why I appreciate how generous the demo for Final Fantasy XIV is up until Heavensward, because it's the entirety of the base game and the first award-winning expansion, Heavensward. It's basically a 500-hour demo.
Isn't Shadowbringers also free at the moment? Or
No.
is that past now?
No, for a little
It was for a bit.
for a little amount of time, Stormblood was free for starter. So people who have the starter
Oh
edition.
yeah, that was it. It was
Yeah.
Stormblood. There we go.
Stormblood, yeah, they could get it for
forgot.
free for a brief amount of time, but you had to have a paying account, not free trial.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I have a video series recommendation. Final Fantasy reminded me. There's a YouTube channel, New Frame Plus. He does like animation analysis.
I
and he
love Dan
rules.
Floyd. He is my
Yeah!
hero.
He's great. I love him. All of his videos are super fun. I put on that 2-hour animation of Sonic video whenever I
Yes.
need to like concentrate on something. But he's been doing a little series of the animation in Final Fantasy and how it evolved. He's just been going
Yes.
through one game at a time. I think the last one was about Final Fantasy IV, and like this is not a franchise that I've ever paid any attention to. So these videos are fascinating to me.
I have the pride of knowing that I learned about that years before it happened, because I actually went to dinner with Dan Floyd, like I think it was 2018, 2019 PAX East, and me and him had been talking then because I was such a big fan of him and he's a massive inspiration of mine. And I'm like, hey, I'm going out to PAX East, and he's like, hey, I live in that area. You want to like get some burgers or something? I'm like, oh yeah, and then we talked and we chatted, and like he told me about it, so I get to brag to be privy about the animation of Final Fantasy years before it happened, and it really goes to show that he put a lot of work into it because he's been planning it for years.
That's so cool. Oh man.
I also
Yeah,
play
I
with him in Dan Jones and Dragons. He plays. It's our the monthly D&D game I'm a part of. I play a little goblin named Gelnick, and he plays.
Of course you do.
He plays halfling warlock who is like completely unwilling to go on. He's just found himself in this situation. He's got a gauntlet on him that like wants to do heroic things, but he's like, he's just completely unsure, and they both just have to deal with the fact that they have someone that they didn't initially want.
That's so fun. He's still in the refusal of the call stage. I love
Yeah,
it.
he's just reluctantly going along with it.
Oh, that slaps.
But yes, I can concur. Good recommendation video series.
Yeah, he knows his shit about animation.
He is a professional animator. Can you believe that man runs 2 YouTube channels, a Let's Play channel and an animation analysis channel, and still works full-time for the games industry as an animator?
Oh my
That tracks with
goodness.
how I understand animation and animators tend to work. Like, I know some animators, and they just don't sleep. That's just
Yeah.
how they make this work.
Like
I'm tired all the time.
I
Just get
think
into the zone, and then it's like, I've got lightning in my veins. I could go for another
Yeah.
40 hours.
yeah, like my theory, and he's a really well-adjusted guy too, so that's why I have my theory. Now, of course, he probably runs into his own anxieties and troubles as well, like every human does. But I believe Dan Floyd rather, is just a normal functioning human being.
What?
Imagine, I know, right?
They exist?
He has like a schedule that he keeps to, and like actually does things on a regular scheduled basis, and makes time for himself and stuff. And I'm like, how do you do this thing?
It's like finding a real unicorn.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to Dan Floyd, cool guy extraordinaire. Anyway, are we all back and ready to get into more
Yeah,
Heart of Elynthi then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking to the Karen lady. Bye, chat.
Yeah, if you could close out of your Twitch chats and give your undivided attention to the game.
I don't believe in neurotypicals. You get it, Twitch chat.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
get
bye,
it.
everybody.
Anyway, so you guys are gonna go talk to the lizard folk, yes?
You
Yeah.
guys might be a strong phrase.
Okay.
I've been doing so much socializing this session. Don't make me talk to the scary lady.
So Buck, you
Talking
go
to
up
squirrels.
to
Yeah.
the
Squirrels are great conversationalists.
You go up to this very ornately dressed lizard folk woman who is adjusting her pearl necklace while seemingly talking down to this dwarf who sees you behind her, and he just kind of like giving you face signals like, please help me.
I'll take my hat off and just kind of hold it, and then I'll just tap on her shoulder. Pardon me, ma'am.
She immediately jumps and just like, oh, how dare you sneak up on a Duchess of House Bastan? What are you doing here? What business have you?
Duchess of House, what was that, and how do you spell it? Don't mind me, I'm 10 feet back.
Yes. And you
I'm
see
sorry.
the lizard folk lady, which I will show the portrait of now.
I'll
there
do
she
like
be.
I'll do like a little bow.
Yeah, that's a lizard, all right.
Give me a performance check.
Oh, I bet it's gonna be great.
While he's bowing, I'm gonna use my mage hand ledger.
Oh
to
my
pick her
God.
pockets. She looks like such an easy mark. I'm sorry.
You're gonna pick her pocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely a spellcaster.
Buck,
We're
you
about to find out.
do a little bow, and she just like, oh, do you call that a greeting? And Word, I'm gonna need you to give me a sleight of hand check.
There we go.
You sneak into her pockets with your mage hand,
Slide on.
and you pull out the same amber stone that was found when investigating the patrol route.
So she does know fireball. I keep
Well,
that to
that-
myself for now.
I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've been in the presence of someone with such high standing of yourself.
And pray, why must I give you the time of day? Please hurry up, speaking.
Well, we are the pilgrims.
Good work, Buck.
We are the pilgrims, and we were told that there was a woman here of House Baztan that would be in need of our services.
Oh, the pilgrims from that washed town of such. Yes. Well, yes, everyone could use my services.
I'm going to be staring daggers. How dare.
We just thought it would be prudent of us passing through on our journey to make your acquaintance and inquire as to if there's anything the pilgrims of the pilgrims of Elynthi can do to help.
Pilgrims of Elynthi, not quite yet, no, is it?
We're halfway there. We're a quarter of the way there. We're on our way.
Well,
So saith you, who's been nowhere.
excuse me, young man.
my God.
I have been
I didn't think
all
you could
across
smell that.
Elynthi, and you would do well to watch your tongue. I am the Duchess of House Bastan, and I've traveled here to bless this poor little town that is in desperate need of well-formed protection authority, and I aim to give it to them. Otherwise, they are subject to the dangers of the wilds, the brigands, the blot. I'm here to save them, even if it is from themselves.
How generous of you.
Very noble.
And so you require assistance as well? You require the need of my protection, of my guild?
Well, let's not get hasty. We haven't exactly heard the most glowing reviews from the locals.
Well, that's because they haven't been blessed with their presence yet. If only they would take the generous trial that I have given them, they would see how efficient the military of House Bastan can be.
The trial?
Why, yes, of course. For a small fee of us taking over this town for a little bit of time, they can simply see, without further charge, of course.
Oh, that's very original.
I have a question. What we're none of us from this part of the world. What exactly, you mentioned some threats that this town faces in particular. What were those again?
Yes, of course. The wilds, the wargs that patrol the place, the blot. I'll have you know
blot?
that. Yes, of course. In fact, my house military, the defensive might of House Bastan, we have single-handedly held off the overwhelming flood of blot from the borders of Old Deosia. If not for us, the kingdom would have been overrun by those nasty things. So you're welcome.
I'm amazed that you have manpower to spare then, if the situation is truly so dire.
Why, of course.
Yeah, looking around, I don't see any buildings collapsing or blot roaming around right now. So I think this place might be fine.
Oh, and you think that those dinky little crystals can protect you for long? Just look how much they have been stumbling and breaking over time.
This one looks fine.
Well, it's only a matter of time. You see, I hear that they have been breaking down irreparable.
You must be a remarkably patient woman to put up with such a town for so long.
Why, of course. It's only a matter of time before they are consumed by the wilds, and I, the generous woman that I am, would loathe to see that happen to such a place with such potential.
What sort of potential would that be?
Oh, the crystals, of course. They are used in Paletrios's most advanced inventions and industry. Why, I believe that Lord Nicholas Terrejo, the man, he can put them to better use than any of the people have been putting here. What do you use it for? Stumbling around like boulders, using them for irrigation. Lord Nicholas has larger plans.
And has Nicholas, he sent you here?
Oh, no, he did not send me here. I'm here of my own volition. I go where I please.
But surely he knows you're here, acting on his behalf.
I'm not here on his behalf, no. I'm here on my own of House Bastan, the business that I own.
Ah. Well, he would be very pleased to hear about your presence, I'm quite sure. We actually just spoke to him recently. He gifted us this lovely card.
She looks over at the cart. Lord Nicholas gave you that?
Nailed it. Why, yes.
Well, it is absolutely garish. The color is off. And
Yes,
you
of course.
stick out like a
Would
sore
you
thumb.
insult something that someone graciously gave to us? You would insult Lord Nicholas in front of us. Isn't that blasphemy?
I have no time for this. And she picks up her dress and just starts walking off, nose pointed towards the sky.
Good work, team. Where's she going?
She walks off
Into the
kind
well.
of in the direction towards the main road.
Where those things are getting ambushed?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But it's also the main road, so.
I suppose so.
That I feel like wasn't very helpful.
Hey, but
On the contrary, I think that was extremely helpful.
Oh, that was so fun teasing her.
Buck, do you remember this tasty stone I was chewing on a minute ago?
Yes.
I just got a second one, and you'll never believe where it came from.
Oh no.
Did you
That
find
lady's
it?
pocket. And I hold up both of them and I clink them together like eyeballs
Ah,
Yep.
yes, eyeballs. Notorious for their clinking.
for clinking together.
You can see
this
that
is-
they are of different shaped rocks, but inside the transparent amber-like crystals that there are individual eyelashes of very, very similar length. Like, might as well
Knew
being
what these were
identical.
for.
Yeah. Now if
So
only
obviously
we...
a spell component. Ah!
So it's clear that she is somehow involved in this. I think we've
She
got
is
enough
quite
for a motive for trying to
let the
break
man
these
know?
things.
And she's casting some kind of fancy magic rock spell.
Yes, something loud, but clearly not visually striking, or the birds would have noticed.
It's almost like she's invisible.
Well, that part I was assuming.
Oh, really? Oh. You think that's what this rock is for?
Probably not, but you never know.
I thought
Actually, could we spend like now that it's like, wait, could
You
it
know
be
what?
for invisibility?
You've got so many pieces together. This is the casting component for invisibility.
It is. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Yeah.
so the loud noise is unrelated to the amber.
Yes.
Thunderclap, probably.
Yeah, she could have
yeah.
like broken it with another spell.
Yeah.
So
All right,
I mean,
good work,
this is
team.
if she's becoming invisible, I mean, clearly she has some kind of motive to do this, but we don't have anything concrete.
My goodness,
What
that
should we do?
lantern of true sight would be so useful in dealing with this situation.
We could just beat her up really, really bad.
I believe that would be unwise. At
It
least
is
without
an
provocation, plausible deniability, stuff like that.
We're taking the legal route. All right, then yeah.
Well, if she is in good with Lord Nicholas, we wouldn't exactly want the first word of our exploits to be that we beat up one of his friends.
Yeah, she also has an army. It sounds like I'm not trying to make this an international incident.
Well, I don't see any army around here, but
What if we wore masks?
And did what?
Beat her up.
Beat her up. Okay, that's what I thought you were gonna say. I don't know that
Right.
beating up a woman, like a rich woman who owns an army, is a smart idea. And I don't know how to say this.
We could do a little bit sneaky.
What
I
do
think
you-
the first
what do you
thing we
mean?
should do is inform the mayor and at least grumble.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what
I
I'm
tend to
saying. The
agree,
mayor,
Lyra.
she's got to have somewhere to stay, which most likely is the inn, right? The mayor might let us, snoop around a bit if he knows she's up to no good.
That
You
is
know,
possible.
this is a little embarrassing, but I do have a scroll of invisibility, and I'm reading right here that it uses these things. I should have known.
Well, I suppose it's all right that you didn't read the fine print before.
Yeah, I usually don't before I need to cast it, but
Of course.
Let's tell Grumble, and then maybe tell the mayor, and then we'll kind of maybe see if we can get a little bit more information once they know that, or see what their thoughts are on
It
handling
is
the matter.
definitely strange she's going invisible. We don't know if it's her yet, but we'll see.
Yes, I suppose we should go to Grumble first.
Shall you talk with Grumble then?
Yeah, let's do it.
You can see that he is kind of fixing up another one of the crystal boulder sentries and just making sure that it's all good and well and just kind of patting it, letting it roll off. And he sees you come back.
Yes. Hello. We've done a little investigation. The exact mechanism is still unknown, but we have reason to believe that, what's her name again? I wasn't paying attention. Lady
Lucia.
Baztan is perhaps, at least indirectly, responsible for the destruction of the automata. We found a spell component identical to one belonging to her at the scene of the crime.
Always suspected she had something to do with it. No hard proof.
This is unfortunately true.
What
Then
now?
again, I suppose if the assailant is invisible, we can't possibly be held accountable for beating said assailant up without knowing that she's such an esteemed lady.
What if she's caught in the act?
That would almost certainly resolve the problem rather cleanly. Unfortunately, we might need to stake the area out for rather longer than we'd planned.
I got an idea.
Oh?
You think she really had something to do with it? I'll help out.
Oh.
I'll make big sentry. Some you can't ignore. Some kind of a threat.
We place
like it.
word inside of it.
And I just start firing.
Anyway, I started blasting.
Is that a serious proposal?
Oh yeah,
wanna
let's
be
give word
inside
on
of the
that.
thing that
How
might
many of our
explode?
plans have been put word in something and throw it at the enemy?
Let him do whatever he does in there.
That was not a serious proposal, at least not from Buck. No, Buck
Okay.
will not propose to put word into the sentry.
But will word propose?
Do you
I am
want to
not
be
against
inside of the
this.
explosion?
Not particularly, no.
Then
But I
maybe-
would like to cause one. I have 2 gemstones. No, they're for... I would like to cause one.
They're for snacking.
Yeah.
I agree with the plan. I think making some sort of honeypot situation where we try to draw her in and then try and catch her red-handed makes a lot of sense.
Very well. I'll have something ready tonight. Big, imposing, a threat to her business.
Excellent. Looking forward to it.
Just like me.
And we can figure out how we're going to shadow it without being very, very obvious in the process.
Oh,
You think maybe we could rent the lamp out?
Rent the witch?
The lamp. The one that
The lamp
shows
on
Oh,
invisible
the-
people. We could rent it for just this once, and then we'll get the favor, get it a little bit cheaper, and then we can buy it.
Aspirio.
Yeah, could be worth checking.
So
Because
yes.
we've got to see her do it, and
Are
if
y-
she's invisible, we can't see her.
Do you guys wish to propose this to Pyria then?
No objections here.
I'm going to need a persuasion check with advantage from whoever so wishes.
Oh ho ho.
Give it a shot.
Let's not do
Ooh, I don't have the best charisma.
Get in
but
there,
I'll try.
boy. Get it.
Okay, never mind. I lied. I am apparently a Riz master.
Hey.
Let's see if you crit.
with
Let's
at
do another
advantage
one.
too, yeah.
Advantage.
Do it.
Just
You're
in
rolling
case
it.
you crit. All right. Okay. With a 20, with a soft 20, Pyria is completely on board with the plan, and she just agrees. Well, if you're willing to put that gross lady out of our town, then all the better. I'd be willing to lend it, at least for a night. She's been coming here every so often, and she's not the first time someone from Trevisetta has been wanting to up and repurpose this place for their own means. We've been mostly staying independent, often getting supplies here and there from Palitrios, but mostly self-sustaining. But Trevisetta, they only see profit in this place.
Yes. You do have a rather desirable set of natural resources here.
Yes. Unfortunately, we've caused the sin of trying to use it to better ourselves rather than trying to make petty coin. So,
Of course. So for the lantern, I assume for the purposes of stealth, we don't want it installed on the cart just yet, if we can help it.
all right, she can give you a mobile lantern of true sight.
That would be pretty nifty. And what do we have to pay up front to rent the bad boy?
With the 20 persuasion, she's gonna lend it to you for the night.
Wow.
Nice.
I only ask that you bring her to justice if she really is the one doing all of this. If not, perhaps all you've done for us, I can maybe give a little bit of a discount, but not too much.
Of course. Run a business after all. All right, let's see. So what's the plan, gang? What are we thinking?
I guess stake out the area. We could like wait because we know the path that it's gonna be following.
Yes.
Oh wait, do you still have that line with a bell on? Because we won't be able to see her at first. So if she trips it, then we'll definitely be able to see her because we can run over with the lamp.
That would be a good idea. I'm also considering just in terms of how much we can stealth so she doesn't get suspicious. Some of us are stealthier than others.
Are there
Well,
any
it sounds
trees?
like there's gonna be a large noise that we would hear and be able to go and like investigate.
There are trees around.
We could hide in a tree.
I could hide in a tree.
I can be a wild animal, so I'm not super worried about me.
I think we're all. I don't think we're all that bad at stealth. I don't
Yeah,
think
you're a
any
very
of us
stealthy
are, like-
crew.
Heck yeah. Well, except for me, but that's what wild shape is
Yeah,
for,
yeah,
baby.
that's what wild shape
Yeah,
is
yeah.
for.
+0.
I'm proficient in stealth. I think Word probably is. Fritz, I don't
Yeah.
know how your dexterity is.
I'm very athletic.
Fair enough. He's gonna get it ready, so maybe we could go to the tavern or something until then.
Should we
Yeah.
let the mayor what mischief we're up to, maybe?
We should probably tell the mayor. I feel like us
Yeah.
catching her and then it being like, yeah, we
Vigilantism.
totally caught her red-handed. Like, it would be good to have other people witnessing.
Okay.
We'll just let them know that we might be causing a bit of a commotion.
Just a skosh.
Okay, you go inside, you see Mayor Isaac is just kind of putting things up for the night. You know, he's placing the chairs back on the tables and such. And he sees you come in. Ah, hello. Is there aught I can do for you?
Who would like to explain?
We're
Does
just.
anyone want to explain?
Yeah, so here's the deal. We just decided to stay maybe the night, and we just thought we'd let you know that we're trying to solve the whole broken sentry issue.
Ah, very good.
It seems like that's been an issue for the town, and so we thought we'd use our resources to look into it while we're here. On the off chance that we should have to, there's a woman here, Lucia Bastan.
Ah, yes, the business lady.
We sort of suspect. I don't know if this is what you guys want me to say, but
No, yeah,
we're,
That's fine.
yeah, we're sort of suspicious that she might be involved with the disappearance or destruction of some of these sentries, and so just tonight, I mean, it wouldn't be an issue if we were to sort of stake out the path of any sentries just to make sure everything's on the up and up.
Give me a persuasion check. Ooh. Well, perhaps you can do what you believe is best, but I don't know that I condone your actions. Lady Lucia is a very powerful woman from a place far beyond our jurisdiction. I would not want to cause an incident between the provinces. Whatever happens here is under jurisdiction of Politrios, and I wouldn't want to cause tension between them. If things were to go wrong and it turns out it isn't true and you have the wrong woman, I worry about the fate of this town.
Well, we're
no
not
one's
going to
gonna
be just.
hurt. We're just watching.
Yeah,
Well-
we're not trying to cast accusations out just yet. Although we just wanted to make you aware of our findings.
Our intention is simply to observe the path of the automaton, ensure it isn't attacked, and if it is, to act in its defense against whoever or whatever may be causing the issue.
Very well, you may do as you wish. I cannot truly stop you. Just please be careful.
Of course.
If anything happens, it's on us, not you.
Yes.
You
Simply
can blame the
actions-
pilgrims.
Overzealous pilgrims.
Do be wary of those Trevisetans. They like to believe themselves true owners of Elynthi, and when things go wrong, they like to see themselves as not heard truthsayers, if only their words were heeded. And when things do go well, they see themselves as prophets.
Charming.
Verily. You have a good night, pilgrims. There will be warm beds when you return.
DM, I have a question. Do all tieflings have golden eyes?
No. At least I don't think so. Have I accidentally made the 2 tieflings you've met so far have golden eyes?
Yes.
Well then,
I think he was wondering if it was an ex-in-law.
Talindra does, and so I just didn't know if that was. I'm wondering if It doesn't sound. I'm now realizing, talking to you, it doesn't sound like that was like a purposeful choice, so it doesn't really matter.
you
But
may interpret that however you wish.
Hey,
Fair
bro,
enough.
you've got the
Okay.
same eyes as my ex-wife. You want to hang out?
You got my ex-wife's eyes.
You
live long
remind
enough,
me of
you-
my old lady.
You look like my old, the
We
old
get to see
ball
the same
and
eyes
chain.
in different people.
I see her eyes wherever I go. I can't escape them.
Oh boy,
All right,
it's a
so
very funny Buck situation.
you
Sorry, it's
guys,
just you and my ex-wife's eyes.
you guys are gonna stake out the route, and I have a map prepared, and by prepared I mean recycled from previous night.
Hey!
So
Oh,
there
this
is-
one looks
I
familiar.
remember.
There's the crystal sentry that is going to be rolling along the route. And you may position yourselves how you so wish. There are trees around, a pond, and a ledge of elevation over here.
All right, who wants the Lantern of True Sight?
Are you guys all in a different tree?
Hold on, I haven't placed myself anywhere yet. I'm figuring it out.
Yeah.
I
Who's the
just figured that
fastest?
I could get picked up.
You really like me carrying you, Word. Yeah. Who's
All
the
right, let me just
fastest?
check my list of.
Probably
shape
me because I
options?
can bonus action dash.
Do you want the lantern then?
Oh yeah.
Because you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to set up some like?
Strings and
String
did
and
the same thing I
bells?
did the last time we were in a place that looked just like this. Yeah.
I'm getting a bit deja vu.
Yeah. So, which direction is the town?
The town is down south, and this is on the kind of outskirts, close to the road. And the route the sentry takes is like this.
Yeah. Figured.
And usually they shatter around here.
Okay.
In that case, I would like to post up. Just scooch over to this other tree. Heck yeah.
I'll stay. in the
Yeah.
tree.
Let me
Sorry, Buck.
this. I'll
It's
set up
fine,
a
you guys
couple
all
of
wanna be-
stick pegs with my string and a bell.
Oh.
I'll just do it like that. And then let me. I can do that. Ding ding.
Yay.
Okay, ding ding. All right. And you guys are going to wait in this position then?
Yeah. I was given the lantern. Does it take like an action to activate? How do I?
It is. Oh,
don't wanna keep
I
it
haven't
lit.
considered that. I would say that this thing is, because of its expense, it's always on.
Shoot.
How
Okay.
visible is it? Like,
I'll cover it in my cloak if that works.
Put it
In your
lantern, yeah.
cloak. I would say in that case, the lantern only works on things it shines on.
okay.
So by
Otherwise,
covering the
it
light,
doesn't.
yeah.
Okay.
But I think that showing it, I mean, obviously, if you have it lit when we're trying to sneak up on the person, it's gonna kind of show where you are.
All right. So I'm gonna need stealth checks from every single one of you.
Wait, hold on.
I'm not
just
good at
see.
these.
Oh wait, never mind. That was an 8.
Okay, I'm also
I
not
didn't
good
realize
at
I
these,
have good stealth.
but
I forgot I was
yeah.
stealthy.
I would like to be a panther for this.
Ah,
I'm gonna use
panther.
my wild shape, and that means I get a +2 dex. So I'm gonna roll my stealth, and then we just add +2, if that's okay.
Okay.
Last time we tried rolling from the panther character sheet, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Um,
Seems so.
All right. Oh,
So
come on.
18, 17.
Damn it. All right, that's a 9, I
Ooh,
guess.
That's a 9. All
You're
right.
also you're also an animal though.
I am. I'm just chilling in a tree. This is a completely legitimate place for panthers to hang out.
In this area?
I don't know. Probably.
Currently.
Currently, I guess.
You're gonna tell this panther it doesn't belong here?
Okay, so you guys stake it out. The sentry rolls over, tumbling and pushing aside rocks and making a dent in the path that it travels as it's approaching the path and the location of where all the other ones crumble. And then, right before it hits the spot, you hear the bell ring. Ding, 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 ding.
Ah,
Ding 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 ding.
gotcha. I'm
The
gonna turn
lantern.
and light them up.
And you light it up, and you see it's Mayor Isaac.
Mayor Isaac.
We have to kill him.
This is a Scooby-Doo episode.
I can't believe it wasn't the incredibly obvious one.
Oh no.
And
What does he do? What happened?
Is he invisible or?
Yeah, was he initially invisible?
did you shine the light immediately?
Yeah, I like uncover it and I run it along the line of the string.
Along the line of the string. Well, I guess you light him up and you can see him.
Oh come on.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say he was visible before the lantern because you were probably keeping an eye on the bell.
Yeah. That general
Then
area.
you see that he was not invisible. And he sees you kind of light the light. He holds up his hands and you can see he's very frightened.
Oh,
I immediately
cover the lantern again.
yeah, I'll probably cover the lantern and I'll like gesture for him to come over here. I'm like,
He comes over to the tree.
We told him we were doing the stink app.
why are you here?
I'm just scared for my town. What if
Oh.
what if what Lady Lucia says is right? The blot is always a threat and a potential, and maybe we could use the extra assistance.
And you're gonna fight it alone?
Exactly. We could use her help.
Do you... Hold on.
Independence is more valuable than what she has to offer.
All right, I'm gonna keep an eye on the automaton while they're having this little
Okay.
fight.
Yeah.
I-
While you're discussing,
So...
Fritz, this is going to be happening simultaneously.
Your plan was to stake out to see Blot on your own. Do you have a death wish?
No, I would never want to come out and see the blot. I came to interfere with your stakeout.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Glad we spoke to you.
I'm sorry.
We did roll very badly.
Your plan did not instill confidence in me.
I don't think anything can at this point. You're not thinking straight. It's probably late.
I understand, but please don't put yourself in danger.
I would if it were for the savior of my... And bang! A loud boom happens, and Lyra, you see the sentry shatter into dust.
Wow, that was quick. Well, it's a good thing
I'm
Bird wasn't
gonna-
in there. The lantern!
Yeah.
Can I reaction
I
jump down to
shine
like,
that shit.
cover my wings to make sure he's not hit by shrapnel?
Yes, you do, actually. Fritz, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
As well as Lyra and Word. Buck, you're far
Oh,
enough
goody.
away.
Yeah, Buck comes
All right.
out on top again.
All right.
baby.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
All right, this is
Ooh.
fortunately going to be another +2 from my panther self, so let me just hacha. Could I roll even a little bit? Okay, so that's actually a 15.
Okay, so Word, you're the only one who takes the full damage, which is 4. You take 4 piercing damage. The rest of you take
Ouch.
2.
Okay.
And you cover the mayor and shine the lights. And you can see, just as suspected, it was
Whoa.
the lizard folk, Lucia, who is holding her
Destroy
wand
her.
out. And she notices the light and... Oh!
Have we all rolled initiative yet?
You may roll initiative now.
Yay!
She's gonna try and fight
I
us?
forget.
Well,
Do I
fucking
gain
hell out
any
of
sort
this
of
whole
initiative bonus from being a panther at the moment?
It is your
dex or something?
dex bonus, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to roll this, and then it's going to be that +2. Hacha. Oh, come on! Can I roll above a 10, please?
It's not letting me.
I'm sorry, I'm stealing all your rolls today.
So it's actually a 7. There we go.
That is going to be 17.
Why does it keep rolling twice?
I don't know.
It's really teasing you.
Mm-hmm. It's not even letting me change. There we go.
Boop, boop, boop. And the mayor will go on Lucia's turn. Buck! You're up first. You see Lucia caught red-handed, or in this case, green-handed.
I mean, am I supposed to just hit her with my hammer? I don't know what the plan is.
I think we want to capture her so she can be held for justice or something.
Good idea. I will climb down from the tree, and I definitely have enough to like go over to her. I would just like to go off and maybe
shoot.
like.
My recording stopped.
Oh no!
Oh no!
When?
I don't. At an hour and 53.
Okay, that's not too long ago. Just start
Not
it
too
back
long
up again.
Yeah, shoot. That's bad. The same recording?
Yep, same recording.
Okay, I'm gonna do a couple of these. Okay.
Well, I
Gotta scrape my ass
will.
real quick.
Can I go up to her and like maybe hold my action to try and grapple her if she tries to run away?
Okay, yeah. You
And I
may
will
do
rage.
so.
Yeah,
Your
'cause
reaction will
I can
spring
hurt
to
her
grapple
by
her
doing
if she
that.
tries to run away.
Yeah, and then I'll end my turn.
Okay, next is Lucia and the mayor's turn, and Lucia is going to do a whisk of her wand and cast Misty Step. Whoosh.
Oh,
And she's going to vanish up to the high ground,
Cannot win, Anakin.
and then she starts running.
No!
As you hear the pitter-patter of her feet running through the grass.
Stop moving!
And I'm going to say she is... Let's see. Misty Step is a bonus action. So... Let's see. She will be 60 feet out. If someone can reach 60 feet plus however much distance it is to like the edge of the map, I would say you can reach up to melee range with her.
so 60 plus 35, so
Yeah,
it's
for
gotta
you
be-
that would be 95
I can make that if I. Well, I can make that if
on
I
your turn.
dash
Yeah,
on my turn.
but she is booking it. She has Misty stepped and dashed.
She's
Fritz.
65 feet from me right now.
Carry me. I'll get to her.
Want me to throw you again?
Yes. Like sparkles in his eyes.
Okay, I'm going along with this. How far can I move again? Well, I can also use Misty Step.
I also have Misty Step.
We all have Misty Step.
Oh
I
shit.
can move up to,
Not all
Girls'
of us have
night!
Misty
Girls' night,
Step.
Misty Step.
up to 30 feet.
Actually,
I'm already in
if,
the tree.
if
I
I
can just
get
take
the
off,
right
right?
range thing, I think I might have something similar.
What's up, Fritz?
Because I'm already in a tree, can I just take off, or do I still need to like?
Yeah, you can just take off.
lift
If
off
you
the ground?
if you
Okay,
go
cool.
horizontally, you'll be in the air.
All right. I'm gonna go my max distance of 30 feet, which is. Oh, I'm just behind Buck.
Mm-hmm.
Come with me, Word. I am carrying you.
Yes. Perfect. I'm down there.
And I guess I've just got to chuck you.
Give me an athletics check, and that's how far rounded down you will throw Word.
Okay.
15
Hey.
feet. Word, you get a
Okay.
15 feet head start.
I slam into the
Nice.
wall.
Sorry.
Swap.
You
grip it like
latch
a
on
cat.
like a 3D platformer latching onto a ledge.
Yeah. I'm going Tears of the Kingdom.
Anything else,
Yes,
Fritz?
yes. Quick, use a send.
Can I do something kind of sneaky? And I'm wondering if this is a bit weird. Can I use Gust of Wind to push him up the hill?
Maybe. Let's see. Can you remind me what Gust
the
of Wind
full
does? Put it in the chat. It's actually in your spells now since I fixed your sheet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feet. Each creature that starts its turn in the line must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed 15 feet away from you in a direction following the line.
I opt to fail.
Yeah, you can choose to fail.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah,
I could
you can.
also fail. Good night.
It's just it's a short ledge. It's just 5.
I'm a rocket.
It's 5 feet high. I would say you're in the air, so he's already like up. So you get pushed another 15 feet. Word. The flying
So
kobold.
cool.
It's a line, so I would also be pushed.
Yes,
15
you
feet
would
if I-
if you
Yeah,
choose to
I'll-
That's
fail.
what I was thinking.
So
I'm actually, if you look at all of our turn order, I am moving at a horrifying speed.
Yeah.
I haven't moved
Terrifying.
yet.
Buck, do you want me to push you?
Yeah,
This is your
yeah, I'll be.
choice.
Yeah, I'll be.
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll be cool.
So
Just
word.
adds over
what?
tea kettle into the ledge.
All right.
Yep, exactly.
And that's another spell slot, right?
Word the flying kobold. You fly 30 feet being pushed by Fritz forward with like a jaunty land onto the grass.
The amazing flying kobold.
That's all I've ever wanted to be.
It is the second time Word has flown. No, third? I'm losing track.
Third.
Looks like this word has flown. Yeah!
Is it me turn?
Yep.
Okay. She's 60 feet away. I think that still leaves me within 5 feet of her once I get up there. 'cause
Oh,
that's-
yes. Easy. Yeah, like, yeah, easy.
So I won't be within attack range. That's also my. Well, I can do a bonus action to get there, so I'll do that,
Yes.
and then I will huck some negotiation at her.
Oh, you're gonna hit her.
I keep throwing it, and it never lands.
Believe it
I
or
can't
not,
negotiate
11
at
is
a range.
enough. She's not wearing
Oh my
armor.
goodness. Yes, no
Oh,
mage armor. She
no.
didn't expect us. Die, woman.
She's
No,
also
don't kill her!
Don't kill her!
Knock her unconscious.
she's
Oh.
also panting and just like I really should have done more Pilates.
Can I hit her with like the hilt of it?
Yes,
We can choose to make
What-
damage.
remember, yeah, you can
Yeah.
choose, yeah, like the hilt,
Okay,
and you
I'll-
bop her, and she and
Damage.
she is actually just knocked out cold from that one hit.
Woo!
Oh boy.
I don't know
Never
if that's
mess with
good
a
or bad.
kobold who can move 100 miles an hour.
So we know the new strat. I throw you.
My scales are like hot to the touch because how fast I've been moving.
We got the fastball special down pat. Oh, this is great. I don't even need to stop being a panther.
There's something so fun
Oh my
about
gosh,
just
a
throwing
panther.
you and then using my guts to push you.
All
That
right,
was
cool.
some proper negotiating. I
So
pick
my-
up that
my-
weapon.
My plan to use Misty Step and summon Beast, and none of that matters. I just get to stay a cat. This is awesome.
It's even better.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right, so Word, I presume you drag her back to the party.
Yeah. Exhaustively.
Steering over
And-
the little rocks.
Mayor Isaac comes up as well, and he looks incredibly impressed.
Ah.
I'm sorry I doubted you, pilgrims. I just, all the concern, I started to believe her words, and I'm sorry.
We'll look at her actions instead.
I see that
It's
now.
okay.
And also
When you
look at
have-
ours because they were really cool.
Indeed.
You have people to protect, and when people are being shady, you get worried.
Well, with all the blot attacks recently, I've just. She
I'm gonna change
appealed to
back.
my better
More
nature.
blot attacks? What's been going on there?
Yes, well, they've been happening more frequently of late, more to the west, near Old Diosia, which is to be expected, but even so.
Oh, I believe that's where we're headed next, at least direction-wise.
Yes, and I do pray for your safety. Well then, what shall we do with our new captive?
This was a crime she was committing, right? Like she was destroying the property of other people, specifically designed to protect the town. I mean, like this is
defense
bad
of the town
stuff.
itself.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
put
we
the
have
town
the
in
mayor's
danger
off-
of the blot.
And we do have multiple witnesses here.
Yes, indeed.
If you give me a
Well,
moment, I will give a sending to an officiate of Palitrios. Perhaps they can come here tomorrow morning and pick her up.
Excellent.
Thank you again, pilgrims. I will see you back at town.
Should we go back with him to make sure nothing bad happens?
Yeah. We should probably put some ice on that. I feel like she's gonna make a fuss if it makes a bruise.
Yeah, you know what? She's already everybody else's problem. We can lessen that.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, are there any big enough chunks from the automaton to salvage, or is it just vaporized, basically?
It is vaporized to like sand. And you can see,
feel
like,
so bad.
in it as well, in the center of it, you can see a small black marble, almost like a playing marble. But when you pick it up, it feels as though it's got the weight of like a sword.
Interesting.
Oh.
I'll keep that.
Yeah.
So what's that?
You
Like a
may
little
add
black...
heavy black marble to your inventory.
Oh,
Heavy
wow.
black
Is it
marble.
Christmas already?
Best magic item.
I'll carry this woman, I guess, back to town.
Do you need some rope? I can tie her up.
She is out. She's very
Okay.
unconscious, and is probably not going to escape from me. So we can. We'll see if they have like a holding cell or something when we get back to town. But I think I can manage.
I suspect their holding cell is going to be the most uncomfortable room in the inn.
We can make it more uncomfortable.
I don't know if that's necessary. Let's just get back to town.
Let's go back to town.
All right, you go back to town, bring her in, and yes, indeed, it is just a room in the inn. They do bind her. They use some of the crystals to kind of make some makeshift manacles to keep her in, clasps. I do not have a nighttime map for this, unfortunately, but you can imagine. And so she does awaken at some point during the night. Do you wish to interrogate her at all, or are you just going to leave her to the mayor's?
Oh, that feels like a really awkward conversation. I don't want to deal with her right now.
I don't really know.
I don't know
I just want to
exactly
stick my
what we have
tongue
to
out at her.
gain.
Bleh.
Like there's something going.
Oh, did we take her wand?
I
would've
would presume
would've
that you
not-
did,
yeah.
that you disarmed her of any
Yeah.
potential, just like
So-
weapons on her.
So what kind of wand is it?
You can see that it is just a typical casting component. You can see that there is an emblem on it of House Baztan, of which I have yet to make yet, but will be relevant. And I will give you a visual for that.
Caster. The wand doesn't have charges.
No, it is simply a catalyst in which to cast.
Like a focus.
Yeah, like a focus, essentially.
yeah.
But it is manufactured by the wonderful company known as House Bastan, that for all your casting needs. That you have heard of. It is certainly a brand.
Yeah, I don't really think I want to like interrogate. I think I want to get some food. We're supposed to eat every day, right?
Yes, we are.
You are
Let's all
supposed to
party it
eat
up
every day.
downstairs.
Yeah, and there is some food laid out, courtesy of the mayor. And if you
What a
wish to
good
do
guy.
anything and chat and hang out, you're pretty much the only ones in the tavern. For active in the tavern this late in the night. Everybody else is probably head off to bed if you so wish to do anything, but otherwise the night is yours.
Did you say that we were getting a discount on the room? Like, do you know how much is the rooms? Are we each getting individual rooms or?
In fact, the mayor feels such sorrow and apologies to you that he has opted to give you the rooms for free as an apology for his doubt of your plan and possibly almost completely messing it up.
Yeah, genuinely.
And we all get our own rooms.
Yep, you get your own room if you so wish.
Fancy.
Yeah.
And you may take a long rest resetting all of your class features and such.
All our things. We beat the game.
We're winning D&D.
Indeed. But I guess there's nothing else you guys want to do with the lady. You're just going to wait for the official to come in?
Yeah, it's probably best. We're not really the police. So going to
I don't think we feel the need to gloat, and I don't think we expect her to have information we particularly want. But, you know.
But early in the morning, once everyone is up, you do see two friends come visit you in the tavern. It is Grumble and Pyria. Grumble just like goes up to you, you know, by whatever table you're sitting at, and he just goes, thanks.
Sorry,
Welcome.
we can save the big automaton.
A little bit more. Oh, yeah, your reward.
And he hands you 2 items for not only investigating, which he would have given you a solidary reward, but for solving the mystery. The small reward, you get what's called a push wand, which here I will put into the chat now.
I wonder what pushes.
It is a little wand with the similar crystal fashioned into a kind of donut shape.
Like, that's incredibly dangerous. Does that have a saving
Gary's
throw?
mod.
We could just push people off cliffs like
Yeah,
every day.
I hope we don't have any encounters where falling is an instant lose condition.
And
Oh no, that would be such a shame.
and the big reward, another invention of his, is a one of the crystals fashioned into a necklace. The Gem of Blades.
that's rad.
Who takes the most damage?
Yeah, we should give that to the barbarian, I think.
Yeah, I would really
Yeah.
like to blades.
Well, it'll deal even less damage because he reduces damage already.
That's right.
Ooh.
And someone else wants it because because it reduces damage. Wait, does it reduce damage?
It deals
no,
half
doesn't
the
look like
damage
it.
you take.
So it
Yes,
doesn't
it doesn't
reduce the
reduce
damage,
It
but
just
you
deals
just
it back.
No, it is dealt after your barbarian ability reduces
Yes.
damage, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
yeah.
If someone else
Wait,
wants it, that's fine. I mean, I would
Act's kind of similar
want
to
it.
my observance, but...
They both require attunement.
Well,
I kind of
feel
like the
Word
push.
has gotten very close to being a couple of times.
Admittedly, this wouldn't stop him from taking damage. It would just make the person regret it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm all about making people regret things. I'll take that.
Okay.
I feel like you've cast Summer Bomb on them the most, though.
Does someone want the push one specifically?
The push one's awesome.
It
I'll
is.
take them both.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Do you
gonna
want it,
that.
Lyra?
It doesn't really feel like my thing. Honestly,
you
with
want
your
me to hold
mobility,
it?
Fritz, it would make sense for you to have it.
Yeah, you
you
want me
can
to
have it
hold it?
within
I
30
seem
feet
to
of
be
people.
pushing people.
Yeah. Between that and the wind wall and stuff. Also,
just
can I
bat
show
'em
Grumble
around.
the heavy black marble and be like, we found this in the ruins of the automaton. Do you know what this is?
He takes it, lifts it above his head so that it can catch on the light.
Black marble. Useful spell component. Powerful spell.
Really? Oh, interesting.
Gravity sinkhole.
What?
Oh, that's what that was. That is evidence.
Interesting.
Very dangerous.
He hands it back to you.
Have fun.
Thank you. I'm so confused.
And you can
So that was
see
this-
Pyria also comes to congratulate you and thank you. And she looks to you, Word. So I believe that I owe you to keep that lantern that I lent you then.
I would love that. I don't like it when people are invisible other than me.
We certainly have to pay for that, though. I mean, it's not fair otherwise.
If you'd like to pay for it.
I'd part with it for 100 gold pieces for all the work you've done for our town.
That sounds extremely reasonable. Yes,
Thank you.
of course. I'll just take that out of my inventory.
All right.
You guys can spot my rations next time. It's fine.
Right.
If you'd like, I can mount it onto your cart.
Yeah, let's make it that little lantern that is on the cart.
Yeah.
That little
I
lantern.
wonder if it was
yes.
predestined.
It certainly influenced the design.
Yeah, I think probably all of these services are somewhat already visually influenced.
They just get a different color this time. And this will
Oh, geez,
certainly
that-
help the town. Also,
That graviton wrench is awesome.
Oh yeah.
my little delivery girl. And she goes over to Fritz, and she hands over what looks to be a tiny little, automaton, figure. The figure that you've handed her, made of wood carving, she's fashioned into a little robo doll. And you can see she also hands you a little, about 1 foot by 1 foot portrait. I commissioned this with one of the artists that were here earlier yesterday. They happen to be in town, so you may give this to my brother. And you can see that it is her holding the little automaton, just posing for the painting.
Aw.
So cute. I'll
Perhaps-
stuff that in my messenger bag.
A good start to getting to re-know each other again.
Yeah. I'm just excited to deliver.
Yeah.
And for simplicity's sake, Fritz, I will say that you can hand it to probably some of the informants that you may know in Politrios, because you've delivered all over. There's probably someone you can give it to. I'm not going to make you go back to Nuba Sky.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Fantastic.
Now, Pyria heads off to mount the lantern onto your cart, and just as planned, the official that the mayor said would come into town heads. You can hear kind of a ringing of the doorbell just right on cue, as expected at time, and you can see that it is an Aarakocra of striking characteristics.
Hot or not? Put your guesses.
Maybe, and you can
Flip that
see
coin.
you can see a man that has very peculiar looking features, striking resemblance to someone you've seen before. He looks like he's got black feathers with bright green accents and is wearing a long brown coat and carrying with him a large leather briefcase. And as he walks in and you all look to see who had just walked in, he immediately stops at your notice.
Oh.
And he looks directly at Fritz.
Wait a minute.
And he just almost stumbles a little bit and puts one hand to his mouth, kind of clutching into a fist. Phelan, is that you?
Who are you?
Oh, well, it's a small kingdom. You've grown.
I've grown. Who? I'm going to say this once again. Who are you?
Staring back and forth.
Sorry, I didn't expect. You don't know who I am, but Dozen might. He just gives a little bow. I'm
Dad?
I am
Dozen?
Astrapio Beskiris. I am your birth father.
What? What?
And we're gonna
I'm
end the
sorry,
session
but-
there.
Oh! No!
Your dad's a lawyer?
Pop,
I guess.
can he pick me up?
Oh god, I'm glad I didn't say hot as soon as the image popped up. I was too struck by the fact that it looked like Fritz.
Yeah.
Your dad's hot. Oh my god.
By the way, I'm cursed
greener
with
than I
coins,
expected.
probably.
But yeah, that's be where we end the session. I hope you guys enjoyed this fun little side tangent on your journey.
The soap opera never ends.
Why? It's
like a spinning wheel.
Chat's screaming, but one of them just goes, "He looks mint flavored."
Yeah.
And yeah, so before we sign off, Fel, you got anything coming down the line you want to plug?
I don't. I just love this group, and I'm just so glad we're back. And
Me too.
You guys are doing great. I've got nothing in the pipeline. I've been doing a little bit of a hiatus as I try to rethink about what I want to do with my content. So I'll figure that out and let you guys know. But just for now, just go and watch all these beautiful other people who are in
thanks.
this group.
No.
Poi, you got anything coming down the line you want to plug?
No, I've just been a busy bee. Play Outlast Trials. It's fun.
Anything you want to peg. Go ahead.
Anything you want to peg?
I am.
Where are my
I am
pagan fans?
such a fun. I
Shout out
love
to all the
pegging so
peggers.
much.
Red, got anything to plug coming down the line?
Yeah, we have videos every Friday as per the usual. This week is a blue week, and then next week is a me week. I think I remember what it's about. It's been a very complicated month, so I kind of can't remember what videos I've already finished.
Red, do you have any video game recommendations?
Yes,
any game you've
everybody
been
should play
playing
Tears of
recently?
the Kingdom.
Wow.
I've been having so much
Wow.
fun with it. It's man, it's such a fucking good game. I finished it so fast because I just didn't want the plot to be spoiled before I could get through it myself, and now I'm just trying not
That's
to spoil
fair.
it for anybody else.
And appreciated.
Yeah. Also, the Oz podcast just put out an episode today that was pretty fun. We tried to name pirate ships, and it didn't go very well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And lastly, Logan, got anything to plug coming down the line?
Hello, I make videos on a thing called RuneSmith, and I do write books. There's actually a lot of stuff in the works right now. There's a lot of hypotheticals that we're playing with, but we might be exploring more board games, maybe like an animated thing. I don't know. There's a lot that we're exploring because D&D is kind of throwing itself under the bus again. But there will be more Stibbles.
Nice.
That's all I can say for sure. And he is canonically dead.
He is not alive anymore.
Oh.
No, he's not. He was murdered.
Oh no. And
It has nothing to do with the contents of the book. He just is dead.
Oh, okay. I like background lore that has nothing to do with the content of the actual thing.
That's exactly it.
That's great. I will have Session 9 coming out eventually. Mr. Demo is working very hard on that. And otherwise, as far as video content from me, I'm going to be slowing down a little bit because I am going to A-Con in Irving, Texas on June 2nd to 4th. So if you're in that area, definitely come say hi if you have tickets. I will be doing 3 panels. It is an anime convention. Yeah, I know. And so I will be hosting 3 panels. I will re-upload them to the YouTube channel so that you can view it from your comfy little home. And but otherwise, I will be working when I can on the Final Fantasy Crap Guide, the Crap Guide to Magic DPS, and also maybe streaming the new patch sometime soon.
Woohoo!
But yeah, how are we for next week?
I'm good.
I'm
We
good.
should be good.
Good. No more breaks.
We want to
No
be
more
here.
breaks.
No more breaks. Okay, and chat, I will see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wait, who do we raid? Shit.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I have someone if you want.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I closed it. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me grab it. She is working.
Goodbye, friends.
Da-da-da-da.
Who do I have recommended?
They're really cool 3D artist.
Ooh, I like 3D artist.
All night long.
Hold on, let me see. Where did you in the this chat? Ah, there we go. Okay.
I love you, chat.
Jump to present.
You're my
I
one
see.
true love.
Okay.
Your one and only.
What shall our raid message be?
Mint flavored dad.
Complete
Yes,
Comprehensible, I love it.
Dad.
Mint father.
mint
More like
It is
Mint
mint
Daddy, am I
father.
right?
mint dad.
Mint
Mint
daddy.
daddy. Mint daddy.
Oh no. what have I
Let
unleashed?
me control C, control
Mint patty daddy.
V.
No!
Somehow I didn't come up with it. I didn't even
All
say
right,
it
mint
correctly.
daddy. That's what we're saying. Mint
You
daddy.
see my dad for 2 seconds and already are thirsting. Okay.
Listen, I mean, look at him. He's got a nice suit. He is well groomed. He
A cravat? He's
Yeah.
got
I
that,
can't-
what's the fucking
Ascot.
ascot.
He's got that
yeah.
Miles
Fritz
Edgeworth
dad, I can't say
ascot.
anything.
I'm going to
Doctor Who.
kiss your dad in the,
Okay.
All right, bye everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
I don't want